Hello and welcome to Cutting Through the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, and as always I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
Today's topic, we're going to take a look at the DC Sniper of
2004, was it?
And 2.
Ah, that's why you're in charge of the research.
Yeah. I just left my notepad on the table, I couldn't see it. I had to reach for it.
That was the gap. We're not slow.
No. But
It's all prepared.
Before we start, I want to point out, as we are experiencing what can only be described as some kind of tropical fucking heat wave in the UK at the moment.
Yep.
We're all sweltering. Mike's melted slightly. And so we have got the windows open, otherwise we would end up hotboxing ourselves to death. It would be the equivalent of a dog trapped in a car.
Yes. So if
And
you
The
do
black
hear
hole
any,
of Calcutta in no time, man.
so if you hear any ambient background noise such as men shouting and car horns, the odd
Music.
knife fight,
Yeah? Monkey knife fight.
it's not our fault. It's just
My bet's on Gorgeous George.
Oh, we ain't pretty no more.
oh man. Gorgeous George versus Curious George.
But yeah, so if you do hear noises,
Yeah.
that's why you can hear noises.
We're hot as fuck, guys.
yeah.
Give us a break.
Yeah. It's like the 4th fucking consecutive week on the road we're all in shorts. It's fucking...
It's getting a bit much.
It is.
I've been trying really hard not to complain.
Yeah, me too. And it's...
Yeah.
When it's 30 degrees and you work where I do in a warehouse, which is essentially just a tin shed, and it's 30 degrees, it's fucking hot.
I know American listeners are now scoffing at us at 30 degrees. They have it a lot hotter, I know. But hey.
Yeah, there's a place called Death Valley.
Yeah. Clues in the name.
It's fair enough.
What does Bill Hicks say about LA? Living in LA, where he's like, it's fucking hot and sunny every day. Hot and sunny. Never fucking changes. There's no seasons. That's why he likes the UK, because we can have, what does he say? Coffee and winter coats and rosy-cheeked women. But at the moment, this is like LA.
At the moment, everyone's rosy-cheeked through sunburn.
Right.
So we will start, as always, with the weird news. And this is your first episode. Hello.
Howdy.
We go through some weird shit we found online this week. And this will take anywhere half an hour, 40 minutes, depends how quickly we need a piss or a beer top up. So, shall we start? Would you like to do the first one?
Yeah, go on then, I will read this out. Okay. Egypt Zoo accused of painting donkey to look like a zebra.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Apparently zebras are really expensive.
And black paint isn't.
No.
A zoo in Egypt has denied painting black stripes on a donkey to make it look like a zebra after a photo of the animal appeared online. Student Mahmoud Saran put the images on Facebook after visiting Cairo's International Garden Municipal Park. Aside from its small size and pointy ears, there were also black smudges on its face.
Also, the bloke who painted it signed it.
They did his signature. He put a sign outside the zebra pen. Painted and decorated by Dave Evans and Sons.
Want your dog painted? Give me a ring.
Make it look like a rat.
Oh man. The pictures quickly went viral, with experts weighing in on the species of the animal.
Oh God, I can imagine that. It's a fucking donkey, you snowflake. We're actually it just goes political immediately. Like everything else on the net.
It's a zebra, you chump-sucking motherfucker! Ah!
Hitler would have wanted that to happen.
You fucking Nazi! It's a zebra! Oh, everyone's a Nazi these days.
Yeah, they are.
A vet contacted by local news group extranews.tv said that a zebra's snout is black, while its stripes are more consistent and parallel. Mr. Sarhan told Extra News that the enclosure contained 2 animals and that they both had been painted.
Well, why the fuck not?
Well, I take it donkeys are 2 a penny.
Oh yeah, I imagine so. Well, yeah, there's loads of donkeys.
I mean, I've seen donkeys in Wales, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a great idea, but what happens if it rains?
Well, it's in Egypt.
Oh yeah, good point.
Well, I was about to say...
I mean, it does rain, but there's no...
Now then, I work for a paint sort of wholesalers, paint varnish, I should know about this, and I'm just thinking now, any paint that's outdoor and is going to be weatherproof is going to be solvent based, which I can imagine is probably not good for your skin, because you either got water-based stuff or solvent-based stuff. Water-based stuff washes off with water. Warm soap
makes
with
sense.
water. Solvent-based stuff, lasts 10 years.
My God, you
So
don't
if
think
you've
they've...
stuck that to an animal, it's not going to be fucking good
No.
for it, is it?
You don't think they've got a Goldfinger, that fucking donkey, do you?
Well,
You know when Goldfinger
It
spray
suffocates.
paints that woman gold and skin
suffocates it,
suffocation.
yeah.
Ah, right.
You don't think they've done... Well, I suppose he's only done stripes, Annie, but...
But either way, it's not. You don't fucking spray paint an animal, surely. Come on. I'm not a vet. I'm not a doctor, but I do sell paint.
It's the closest we've got here.
It says avoid contact with eyes and skin on literally every fucking product I sell. You can't slap it on a donkey. And they must have painted it. Do you get white donkeys?
Yeah, you get white donkeys. I think they just
Okay.
put the black stripes on.
Because if they're painted, they've put a white undercoat on the poor bastard as well. They've done an undercoat, left it dry a few hours. This,
Oh, you don't need 2 coats on this donkey.
fucking Egypt's not a poor country, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was not, not...
They got
It's like every country, the oligarchy are doing okay, but the poor people aren't.
That's true. I'm surprised he can afford to go to the zoo.
Well, he has to go to a zoo where they paint fucking donkeys
Ah,
and zebras.
so this is a discount zoo.
Yeah.
Ah.
And the whole... Oh, God, I don't know.
See, I think zoo in Egypt. I think little monkey with a fez hat.
He steals your wallet
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
and gives you monkey aids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only if you fuck it.
Well, they scratch you or something.
Oh, yeah, or butcher it. Apparently, we all think the first guy who got AIDS fucked the monkey. Apparently, he was butchering the monkey.
Oh, and cut himself while doing it.
He
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily shoving his cock right down its throat.
He could have been though.
That's a
Possibly.
It's a shit zoo though, isn't it?
It's
Where
lonely in the bush.
I feel very sorry for these donkeys, and how daft do they think people actually are?
If you're paying them money, they think you're incredibly daft.
Well, that's very cheap because now I'm going to show my daftness because a zebra is in the horse family,
Yeah.
is it not?
I think it is.
I imagine it's fairly horsey sized. Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
A donkey, isn't
I don't think they're as big as like big horses,
Yeah.
but they're a decent size. They're bigger than a donkey. They're bigger than that picture is anyway. Yeah.
In a way, I feel like fair play to the zoo. You
Yeah.
know, it's
We need a zebra.
God loves a trier, as they say.
Or Allah in this case. It is
Sorry,
in Egypt.
Yeah, Allah loves a trier. Sorry. Yeah, but come on. I mean, we can see we're looking at a photograph now. Clearly, some of this zebra's, I'm doing air quotes, stripes, are quite smudged around the
Yeah, they are.
region. And I don't think this person who did the painting actually Googled a picture of a zebra
No.
and tried to match it up. It looks a bit like they're just like, I know what zebra, white with black bits on, aren't they?
Yeah, just do some stripes,
There,
fine.
stripey here, there, stripey there.
you have to admire the balls on the guy to try it.
Yeah, I just hope it's not bad for the zebra's skin.
The donkey skin.
Donkey
You've been
skin,
taking it
sorry.
already?
Take my money! I want a selfie with a zebra donkey!
Yeah.
Yeah, poor old donkey, but good on him for trying.
Yeah, give him a chance. Apparently zebras cost like $6,000 for a
Wow.
zoo. There's donkeys at 10 a penny.
Yeah, it is.
So,
Nobody
see
wants
why they did it. Should we get the next one?
Yeah.
You're
man.
happy with the? It's definitely a donkey.
I think even in all my expertise, I haven't seen that many zebras or donkeys, but in this photograph, that is clearly a fucking donkey with black spray paint on its face, scratching its face on a fence.
Yeah,
That's a donkey. Size of its ears.
that's true. He's got massive ears. Okay.
Bastards. I thought Egypt was doing all right as a country. The pyramids are there. Lots of people go on holiday there, but I guess that don't mean shit, does it really? When I stop and think about it.
They do go on holiday, but I've got a mate who went to Egypt, and you don't really go off the compound unless it's on an unorganised tour bus.
What's a Muslim?
And he said that like they've literally got armed guards on the entrances and exits, and he was laid by the pool that the terror alert had gone up. That Russian plane got bombed when he was there.
Yeah.
The terror alert went up, so he's there, laid by the pool, having a thoroughly nice time, having a drink, and all of a sudden a military helicopter gunship just sort of comes overhead and just hovers around for a bit, has a bit of a swivel round, looking around, and then fucks off. And you're like, and at that point you thought, probably enjoy myself anymore.
Was Egypt where those terrorists just opened up with AKs on
was Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Oh, okay, because I spoke about this film last week, Zoe, but it was quite graphic, some bits. American Assassins, that's how it opens up. A beach scene. They just got engaged in the sea.
Yeah.
He goes off to the bar, buy a celebratory drink, and people just start whipping out AKs and firing, and the way it was shot, man, is very visceral, and you're very like, oh my god, it's a living nightmare. That is modern. That's what terrorism is designed to
Yes,
do.
horrific.
It's horrific.
To scare and
Holiday goers in their little shorts though, and they're exploded and horrible. Anyway, happy times.
It's usually an AK round, and they're big rounds. They don't fuck about when they hit you.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
You know.
I don't want to get shot.
Yeah,
but I'm never going to go to Egypt or Tunisia, so...
Well, we're lucky we live in a democracy, or some kind of democracy.
Well,
at least the facade of a democracy.
It won't be soon when the government's got all the food.
Well, no.
We're lucky you can't buy
Post-Brexit,
handguns here, otherwise, if you could buy handguns in this country, people would be executing each other over road rage incidents. So, you spilt my pint, you cunt.
Oh, yeah.
Bullet to the head. Thank God we don't have guns in this country.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, sorry. Sorry to bring you down, boys. Let's move on.
Let's something more light-hearted from the... Stop having sex with my hedge. Sheffield man's desperate plea to drunken louts. Now, this guy is a middle-aged man. I'd say he's in his 50s. And he has spent a long time crafting a hedge outside his house to resemble a sort of sexy woman.
Naked woman.
Boobs out.
She's in your classic, sort of... Draw me like one of your French girls, Jack.
Yeah.
Kind of pose. One hand behind the head. Yeah.
So do you want to scroll down a bit, Mike? And
Yeah.
He has put a lot of effort into
yeah, he spent years doing it, apparently. A retired Sheffield art teacher has pleaded with drunken louts, pretending to have sex with his hedge. Pensioner QT Tyson has been carefully trimming the hedge outside his Georgian terraced home into the shape of a tastefully nude lady since 2005.
Wow.
However, the 84-year-old... Oh, he's a bit older. He looks young. I didn't think he was 84.
Yeah. Well, he's an art teacher, mate. He's had a life of... I bet he never married. He's just been doing drugs and...
Yeah.
Having sex with his edge.
Women half his age, probably, whilst on mushrooms. Good on him. Anyway, sorry.
He's continually awakened in the early hours of the morning by, quote, lowlifes trying to straddle his bush, which he has named Gloria. Mr. Tyson said he has to make regular repairs to the hedge and is now considering putting up a sign to address the issue. Now, that's British.
That is not going to work.
That is so British. I'm going to put a sign up.
It's very British, but it's only going to encourage more.
Yeah.
Because people will want to take the selfie or the Facebook picture of you humping the hedge while the sign is visible that says "Don't hump the hedge."
Yeah. Well, he says you get drunks publicly undressed and having fun with her in the middle of the night.
Like, actually...
I've been awakened many times, many by men, sometimes also by women, messing about with her and making a lot of hysterical noises. Well, the thing I would say to him, really, is...
Don't have a giant head-shaped woman
in a provocative pose in your front garden. Stick it in the back garden.
Let's break this down to its component parts. He is saying, I have a giant hedge shaped like a naked woman in my front lawn, and people keep trying to have sex with it. I'm outraged. And you've just answered the question, Mike, yourself. Don't have... Most people do ducks.
Yeah. I think it's have a head shape.
Yeah, well, people like to do a bit of Art Deco style. I see a lot of them when I'm out on my rounds. You know, I've even seen an Elvis head. That's pretty cool. What's wrong with a swan? Why has it got to be, he's an art teacher. He could go in the house and paint a nice... I'd get rid of the hedge, personally, myself. Yeah. I realise that he should be able to have what he wants.
Yeah.
And it not be interfered with, but the
is it that important?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just give in.
He could just let it grow into a normal head shape now and just, you know what, I've had enough of that.
Does he live near students?
I don't know.
Because I do a delivery to a place in It's in South Wales, but the guy who owns the place is English and very well spoken. One of the things we sell is like a classic metal dustbin with a lid. And so they're in a stack, and I put the stack outside the shop because that's where he keeps them to sell them. And I put the lids, a stack of lids, on top. And he's like, "Oh no! Please bring the lids inside." I said, "All right." And he said, "The bloody students walk past and use them as shields." And I'm sick of it. So, yeah, that's this. We can't even walk past a stack of bin lids without somebody being, "I'm Captain America." So, am I surprised that somebody tries to give his bush a fucking tit wank? No.
No.
Or get a tit wank, sorry, off his bush.
Well, apparently he says that 3 weeks ago he looked at the window at 4:30 in the morning. There was a man acting like he was shagging her. Oh. It's offensive and appalling, and it's damaging her figure. Privets don't respond well to being manipulated like that. It's changing the shape of her legs and thighs, and it's annoying because I spend a lot of time trying to keep her in good order, and I don't want to spend any more time doing it.
Cut it down.
Yeah. He named her after a local prostitute, apparently, Gloria.
I told you he'd lived a life.
You're right,
He was one of several ladies of the night. Artist Keith often saw wandering his own Georgian street, nestled right next to Sheffield's busy nightlife.
Wandering his own street or wandering the corridors of his own home.
He does go on to have a bit of a disclaimer where he says that he wasn't deeply acquainted with the real Gloria.
Yeah,
right.
And my name's Bob.
So yeah, don't don't trim your hedge into a naked woman and expect no one to jokingly, drunkenly have sex with.
And the fact that she's based on a prostitute.
Yeah, all these drugs are... It's fucking Gloria! Yeah. Fucking hell, I can't believe it!
Gloria, you're back! In hedge form!
I heard you died years ago!
Oh.
Let's have a freebie for old time's sake.
You want to trim
Didn't say no!
You want to trim your bush, love?
Bit more prickly than I remember, Gloria.
No, I was going to say, it used to be smoother than this. Bless.
Yeah. Next one?
Yeah.
Gloria. Good on him. He's good at. He is obviously good at bush sculpting. He should just sculpt something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my final say.
And this one is from Right Wing Watch. And it's an American family radio warns listeners of satanic conspiracy behind Bigfoot. And I like Bigfoot. I don't want to see him get mixed up in all of
Satanic
this.
Bigfoot.
Satanic Bigfoot would be cool though.
That's a good band.
Imagine if
name.
he's got like fucking a pentagram branded into his
Oh,
big
yeah.
sloping
Yeah,
forehead.
that's a good B movie.
Yeah.
Or a comic book. Satanic Bigfoot.
Horns.
Horns, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet, actually. Yeah. But I don't like to see the real Bigfoot getting mixed up in all of this.
No, he's a friendly fellow, isn't
He's
he?
a friend of the show, I like to think.
Oh, well, I've seen the Hendersons.
Yeah,
He's a lovely bloke.
he's very nice.
He does a good police siren impression, doesn't he, to get up the highway quickly?
He does. So, anyway, yes, before we drift onto lunacy,
Before.
let's have some more lunacy. Religious right radio host Janet Mefford and former Family Research Council fellow Tim Daly told American Family Radio listeners that urban legends surrounding Bigfoot and UFO sightings are not only real, but also part of a secret plot the devil is carrying out on Earth. Oh, he's bringing the aliens into it now.
What's this secret plot?
Well, let's find out. Daly said it was telling that many reliable observers have reported spotting Bigfoot, but claim that yet there is a virtual absence of tangible proof that would convince the skeptical public that such claims are credible. It's real, it's a projection, it's a demonic virtual reality, but it's not nuts and bolts in this case, flesh and blood creatures, Daly said. Yeah. Mefford went on to ask Daly why no one ever takes a picture of Bigfoot at noon when someone could take a well-lit photograph. Daly said the devil designs Bigfoot sightings to happen when it's too dark to take clear photographs. So obviously he's never heard of night vision.
That tricksy devil.
Or a flash. Or a flash. You know.
Fuck's sake, we get pictures of lions and leopards and tigers in the jungle, all sorts of wildlife.
Yeah.
You know, we just leave cameras there, they wander up to them. Okay, maybe they're more common than Bigfoots, but
Yeah.
that's not proof that there isn't Bigfoots.
No.
Or that there is.
No. The vast majority happen in the dead of night and you wonder, why is this? And then if you remember the biblical verse about the powers of darkness that love darkness rather than light. That's right, that's important, Mefford replied. She went on to ask Daly, what could possibly be the reason the devil might be motivated to make an appearance, even if it's a UFO or an alien that someone sees. Why would the devil do this? Let's find out.
It's part of the devil's modus operandi.
Ooh.
He's always used this kind of phenomena to once again destabilise, to engender fear, to open us up to the possibilities of other realities and other beings, and then we begin getting involved with demonic spirits. So yeah, all through history there have been many different varieties of beings that are primarily spiritual beings that have terrorised civilizations, and peoples and non-Christian cultures are very aware of this, Daly said.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call bullshit. I don't think that. I don't think Bigfoot's mixed up in all of that. I think he's a nice guy. The aliens might be, especially the Greys, creepy little sexist bastards.
Surely the Christians have got, bigger fish to fry than Bigfoot.
But you see, if you're out hunting for Bigfoot, trying to find proof of Bigfoot, you're not searching for God.
You're searching for the devil.
You're searching for the devil.
What if Bigfoot is the son of God?
Oh,
What if he's Jesus Christ, who's come back, but he's so scared because he was killed on a cross, and every time he goes near any sort of built-up town or civilization, he sees fucking crosses everywhere on the tops of these buildings.
Yeah, he's
like
fucking hell, I'm not going near that.
Jesus Christ, they don't like my kind.
Hang on, sorry, no, it's not Jesus. Oh, me!
You've got a point there, Gaz. It's a very odd thing to have as a Christian. The thing that killed your saviour.
Yeah, you're wearing it around your neck.
I mean, I know they say that he died for our sins, but it's still morbid, isn't it?
If Hulk Hogan gets hit by a milk truck, do you think I'm going to walk around with fucking milk truck fucking necklaces? And, the last thing I'm ever going to want to think about is a fucking milk truck. Fucking weirdo masochistic Christians. You wonder why he won't come back.
And they eat the blood and the
well, it's a death
flesh,
cult, isn't it?
Christ.
It is a death cult, effectively.
Of course it is, yeah. Fuckers. Well, not all of you, some of you. Hulk Hogan, he's a Christian, but I mean...
No, you get some perfectly fine, normal Christians who just bow their head occasionally, go to church.
Like the Muslims.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's the extreme on each side, isn't it? You got on one side you got ISIS, on the other side you got Mike Pence and the evangelicals.
I love that meme. You must have seen that meme, Mike, of where it's got a picture of the Ku Klux Klan at the top, and it says, "Not all white people are like this," and then at the bottom a picture of your typical ISIS-looking guy. Not all Muslims are like this. Like, we know that. We're just talking to you, listener. Yeah, you.
Some of you.
Yeah, you. The one that's thinking right now. Yeah, you. So anyway.
Oh man, I noticed a recent like to the page is a Trump fan.
Look, don't get me started because
I'm just saying he may not be a fan for long of the show for long.
Yeah,
He's pretty like Donnie still.
But we take the piss out of Trump and Trump supporters, but we don't turn around and say, "But you're a Nazi for doing it." You're allowed if you. We're allowed to disagree.
You're allowed to vote for whoever you want to.
Exactly. We're not like alt-right. We're not fucking uber left-wing.
We're here to
kind of central.
We're here to just to plough through the fucking bullshit that surrounds all these people, which it does. I mean,
to help you make your mind up better, I suppose.
Yes.
That's all you can ever do, isn't it?
You've got to try and be.
Same for us.
You've also got to be open to, because it happens a lot on the show. You guys will tell me something that I didn't know previously, or a viewpoint that I hadn't looked at it from that way before, and then you're like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. But you've got to be willing to.
Should always be fluid, shouldn't it?
Yeah, because we're not finished products. None of us, doesn't matter how old you are, you're not a finished product. There's always new data and info coming in, and surely it's up to you to process that and wring your brain out a bit. And so why are we talking about that?
We were just on about generally
back to satanic Bigfoot.
I'm lost already, boys.
It was I think it was more that we're making the point that there's a lot of normal Christians, a lot of normal Muslims, and these people are just the extreme. And the extremes. These people, in my opinion, are no different than ISIS or the Taliban. If they felt they needed to take up arms and try and take over America, they would.
Well, you've all seen that Christian woman with a gun and a Bible, haven't you?
Yeah.
And next to the ISIS guy with a gun and the Quran.
Yeah. What's the difference? Yeah, I know the difference because that woman was an Air Force wife.
Skin colour is the difference.
Right, yeah. Ironically, the story behind that, she was an Air Force wife. Her husband was away serving in Iraq. She's there posing with the Bible, the flag, and her M16. She was getting nailed by her fucking neighbour while he was away.
Ain't that always the
Isn't that one of the 10 Commandments? Shouldn't commit adultery.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh dear.
Not very Christian.
Not at all.
They just say love thy neighbour. Bit of a contradiction.
You should be proud of me because I avoided getting into it with the with the Facebook followers, because I can't work out how to comment as me and not the page. But we did that meme, and I've seen it before. It's great, of the picture of the T-1000. This officer was killed. Can we get an amen? And I clicked on his profile, and he's a religious guy. He's the one who wrote
Not worth an amen, something like that.
Yeah, something. He was like, yeah, great movie, but you're not getting an amen. As if, you know,
We actually wanted one.
as if we were trying to genuinely trick anybody.
There was an amen though from somebody.
Yeah, but it's all,
Yeah, that's probably
it's all-
ironic in all fairness.
It's
Yeah,
all
I know,
ironic,
yeah.
isn't it? But he was sort of, his comment, I took it as sort of saying, well done trying to trick us. I know that's a movie and you're not getting an amen. And I was desperate to comment, well, that's not very Christian of you, is it? You know,
I can comment as myself on the
I
post.
can't work it
don't
out
know.
on my phone. Someone's going to have to show me because, well, we've seen what happens when I comment as the
That's
page.
true. You're banned from commenting anyway.
Yes, that's worse. I banned myself. I don't comment because I can't work out how to comment as me. Please, somebody who's listening, let us know if you know how Facebook works better than I do. I know how to do it if I'm doing it from a PC, but from my phone on the app, how do I do it?
Well, that's
Well,
his
there might not
shoddy
be-
Android phones.
There might not be Facebook much longer.
Yeah. Oh, I heard. How much did they lose?
Biggest drop in history.
Wasn't it 111 billion in a matter
Yeah.
of hours?
Yeah.
Something
How,
like
was
that.
that just off the stock price? or
Yeah.
something? Why is that? Something's coming.
It's because they're down in users and they're down in advertisers.
Yeah.
Well, my
It's
friend's
not a good
daughter.
trend to be in.
No.
Well, we're all in our mid-30s sitting here talking to you, listener, and my friend who's a little older than me, his daughter, quote, the other day said, Facebook is for old people.
Wow.
She's a 16-year-old. To her, Facebook is for old people.
What are they all on now then?
Fuck knows, but they've obviously got something else, apparently.
Something hipper.
Yeah.
Eh?
Something hipper and new.
Oh, well, yeah.
Facebook is for old people, so...
I guess it is. I mean, it's been around a long time.
Yeah.
I remember reluctantly giving up my MySpace
And
profile
me, I
to go onto
remember
Facebook.
it was somebody we went to school with. I could tell you off there, but a girl we went to school with. I remember saying to me, literally on MySpace, "What are you doing on here? Everyone from Arklewood, everyone's on Facebook." And I was like, "Well, I like MySpace. I've got my song and me, you know, my
Yeah.
picture in the background." She's like, "Trust me, there's way more people on Facebook." Yeah, so that's what made me aware of Facebook. Somebody smartening me up on my saying, "What are you doing on here, dick?" And that's got to be well over
15
10
years
years
ago?
isn't it?
It's got to be 15 years Facebook's been
No.
about.
Oh, maybe 10.
10
We might be
definitely.
aging ourselves. It's at least 10, isn't it? But
Yeah, actually, you might be right, yeah.
I think
So-
I joined about 7 or 8 years ago, Facebook.
So they've lost this. I mean, I'm a fan of it. I also understand the dangers. We've talked about it on the show before. We'll do a Facebook episode one
Oh,
day.
fuck yeah.
It's very insidious, but I'm also openly quite addicted to it.
I do find myself looking at it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really comment or post a great deal. I only really share the show.
Reading.
But I find myself reading it. It gives you some great insights into people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my reggae box is a Facebook thing that has seen resurfaced recently that I think is shared by people I would consider sensible and reasonable.
Well, that is
So
an
it's,
almost perfect segue, isn't it? Should we? Have we had the last news
Yeah.
story? Should we segue into? Oh, it says me, and I'm in charge of finding the theme tune.
Give me the gun. What over there? What you got there? Show me with the box. What was in the box? Because I am being on the light. And about it seems that envy is my style. What's in the box? What's in the fucking box? Give me the gun. I just told you. You lied!
What is in the reggae box, Ben?
Would someone like to explain the reggae box so they're not listening to my voice constantly?
Well, the reggae, because Ben likes a lot of things, but he also hates a lot of things. And the one thing he really hates is reggae music. And so we've joked that he has a box called the reggae box, where all the things that Ben hates get placed and then they disappear forever. It's a little bit like Room 101, but completely and utterly different, original,
Yeah.
and non-copyright infringement. Thank you, fuck you, bye. The reggae box. So Ben, tell us,
Yeah,
what
it's,
is in the reggae box?
it's a meme it was around a long time ago, but it's resurfaced with a vengeance now, and I remember hating it at the time, and it's been shared by a lot of people that I know I consider to be reasonable, rational people, and it reads: migrants will be charged by A&E. Foreigners to be billed for emergency treatment. They will be billed between 20 quid and 100 quid for a consultation on top of the cost of their treatment, with staff presenting chip and pin machines at their bedsides. Share if you agree with this. Now, part of me thinks that's you're a terrible human being for even thinking that, because no one should be left. No one in this country, I know it's different in other countries.
If you haven't got your plastic on,
if I haven't got my wallet on me, I'll touch shit, mate, go and bleed out in the gutter.
Fuck that.
You know, I think that's
We're
fucking.
human
I think
beings.
that's inhumane, right?
Yeah, but if these people want to go to Spain and get injured, they want free
They would
medical
expect
care.
it,
Yeah,
of
of course they
course.
would.
But they get their E111 card, which does get basically the NHS pays the Spanish.
Yeah,
hospital.
either way, if
Yeah.
you get injured, you can get it free,
Yeah,
can't you?
yeah.
It's essentially racism.
It is, and this is my other thing that annoys me about it. Not just that bit. It's the slow, gradual rise of the what I don't want to see as a fascist state. Because you've got people. Oh
A
yeah.
fascist
Oh,
viewpoint.
he's brown.
Yeah.
Fuck him then.
Well,
But the thing is, it says migrants, and this puzzles me because it's basically saying like we know a lot of Polish people, Gaz. I don't know about you,
do.
Mike. We
Yeah.
work with a lot. You're saying migrants. Well, they're migrants.
Yeah.
They're here. They're working. They're paying their taxes. They're paying their national insurance.
Yeah.
So if
Probably
he
more
gets
than you.
so if he gets injured and he goes to the hospital, you're going to charge him money, even though he's paying his taxes and contributing towards the system. Well, what kind of cunt are you?
yeah.
Why
They
would you
haven't
want to
thought
see
it through,
people?
have they?
Why would you want
No,
to see
it's-
people suffer?
That's what these things are designed to do. They're just designed to trigger you.
It's an emotional reaction.
Yeah.
But you're showing that not only you a bit of a sociopath and quite inhumane, you're also showing you're a fucking thick bastard.
Showing your attention span as well, isn't it? You're skimming it through, going, yeah, I agree with that. Without one sec, we broke it down within a few seconds. And what you've just said there about a Polish person being a migrant who already pays their tax and their national insurance, so they're already entitled to their NHS treatment, no matter what you say, right? So why are you going to stick a machine in their face there and say, no, you've got to pay cash again? They haven't thought that bit through,
Yeah.
have they? They're thinking asylum seeker. They're thinking what they've been bombarded with and poisoned with.
that's
They
it.
think we're under siege from an influx of just.
Oh, we're going to have sheer law next.
Oh, for
you
God's
know,
sake.
When you got the Sun and the Daily Mail saying, things like,
these people are parasites.
yeah, they're gonna turn us into a fucking Islamic fucking state with Sharia law. People believe this.
Yeah.
Did you see the article? It was quite good. That Trump had mentioned no-go zones in
He
London.
did. Birmingham.
Birmingham as
But
well.
it was
yeah.
in it's a place called Tower Hamlets.
Yes, yeah.
And some guy did an article where he went down there and just had a wander around, spent the day, and found some very sort of hipster, top-end sort of street food type joints. He wasn't forced to wear a burqa and fucking executed. Let's put it that way. He had a rather nice time wandering around.
Yeah.
But Trump
London-
had mentioned it as a no-go zone.
London's
care
a
about the
genuinely
truth,
nice
do they?
city.
No, it's buzzwords. It's
Fake news now,
Fake-
the post-truth apocalypse.
The
Yeah.
fake news thing. David Icke said it in there. It's wonderful. One of my favourite podcasts. Those conspiracy guys.
Yeah, he
You
actually
never
liked my
listened to
comment back to
It
you.
did, yeah,
Yeah.
man. So
I was like, yeah,
that.
nice
They've
one,
liked
Gordo.
a few of our things actually. It makes me feel because they're in the top 10 podcasts.
They are now, yeah.
So
Congratulations.
Yeah, if you never know, you might be listening. Gordo, you're an inspiration. Part of the reason why we started doing this. So anyway, they're interviewing David Icke, and am I going to remember where I was going with that shit? I've fallen down a weed hole. A massive. Oh, that's it. The fact that Donald Trump coming out with the fake news thing is the biggest fucking hoax in the history of the world, because fake news is all we've ever really had. If you
Yeah.
break it without putting your tinfoil hat on, we've always had fake
We've
news.
been through this in the fake news
Yeah,
episode.
and- well, they're setting it up as to say, like, no, anything alternative is fake. Well, we tells you the only thing you can trust, and he spouts out the most infactual fucking shit.
Well, this is the point. It's like before they at least tried to hide it, and now it's like, I mean, the very first example of the Trump administration fake news was the inauguration crowd, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, that's the very first example, setting the bar from day one.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, the inauguration, bigger than Obama's, biggest ever, and it's like, well, there's a picture, obviously isn't. Well, it was, but it isn't. Well, that's an alternative fact.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, that's a lie. But the minute you remove the word lie
Yeah,
from the news and just call it fake, it's not as bad, is it?
exactly. Look, the name of our podcast. We're cutting through the bull, or trying to, into
Yeah.
post-truth apocalypse. That's where we live now, in a world where post-truth is okay. They're allowed to lie.
Yeah. And
And
no
of
one
course-
does it more than the Trump administration
And
at
the
the moment. I mean,
corporate,
everything he
corporate-
says.
the corporate companies and news organisations, they love this. They love
Yeah.
it because
They can post lies. They can just make shit up.
because it backs up their beliefs.
Remember the picture of the two papers that I sent you, the same newspaper printed in different markets in America, with identical looking, with the headline, I don't know which market was which, but one headline says, Trump gets soft on traders, or whoever he was talking to. Same paper, same day, in a different area, Trump gets tough on traders, or whoever he was talking to. They're not daft, they're trying to sell fucking papers. Don't give a fuck about the truth. They're trying to make
I think about
money.
that, we've got news corporations that don't really care about the truth.
Yeah.
That's the world we live in, Gaz.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
But we here, for doing this and asking things, we're fucking conspiracy theorists, we're fucking stupid, we're tinfoil hats, we're stoners, we're trolls.
Sick trolls, aren't we?
Sick trolls, we've been called for questioning, daring to question the narrative. And I heard a quote the other day. There's a new conspiracy theory podcast come out called, literally, Conspiracy Theories, and it's done.
Oh man, how come we didn't get that name?
Well, it's done with one of these big companies who've got money behind them anyway.
So then they're actually just a fake news corporation setting themselves up as an independent media like we are.
Well, they're bound to get billions of downloads right from the off. But anyway, they do come up with a good sort of quote at the start where they say, look, sometimes the official story is the truth.
I agree with that.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But quite often...
Princess Diana.
Hey. Quite often, it's fucking not.
Kelly Hopkins.
And we know that, and there's nothing wrong with fucking questioning it. They were owls, Ben.
Best thing is to gain multiple sources of information for each topic you read.
That's what you're taught at uni, innit? College. If you're doing a paper, you don't just quote from one book. You want a really good grade.
Yeah.
You find an opposing view, and you give your fucking thoughts on having, these different sources.
Your
man sharing the meme, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike. The man sharing the meme. Back to what we started with. He's not thinking that.
No, they don't have critical thinking.
That's what it's. Yes.
Critical thinking. They don't teach it now.
But do we know that from going to college?
Sort of A levels and beyond.
But do we know that from doing our A levels and then moving on a bit higher, going more than your school education, basically, which all three of us have? Do we know that from there, or is that a personality trait of ours? Do you see what I'm saying? Is it something that has to be taught, critical thinking, or are we just, is it our nature?
I think you need both.
I think that the scene we were in kind of how we all listen to rock and metal, and it's some of it is quite political. And when you hear them singing about something political, you then go and find out what that was, and you're like, oh right, okay. Yeah. And then that kind of spirals then, because you start to take an interest in things. You start to branch out. I think that might have. I'm not saying that's the major point behind it, but that could certainly be a little factor.
And like we've touched on this so many times, the echo chamber of Facebook. People see that meme and they're sharing it for multiple reasons. It's because getting a like is
dopamine hit.
Yeah, the way it works psychologically. Oh, someone agrees with me. Somebody likes me. Somebody's paying attention. I'm the same. I'm addicted to it. So I'm not talking anybody down by saying this, but. It's the fucking echo chamber. Yeah, but
yours, bring it all the way back. You're actually saying that people I know and work with and have a laugh with, or meet out for a drink, if they got knocked over by a car, fuck them.
No, but they wouldn't be. They wouldn't be. It's just Facebook.
Yeah, I know.
People behave different. There's something psychological happening.
It's like faceless people they don't know, they don't care about.
Yeah.
It's giving you, because you wouldn't say, that person who shared that wouldn't sit in the canteen, the multiracial, multi-ethnic, multinational staff room at your place, wouldn't sit there and confidently spout that. You over there, right? You shouldn't get treatment in the hospital. They wouldn't do it.
No, they wouldn't.
And if that bloke got hit by a forklift or something, the guy sharing that meme, probably his human nature would kick in and he'd probably rush over to help.
Actually, the person who I got that from is a first aider.
Well, there you go. So
I suppose they won't be using our bandages on him if they get hurt.
Oh.
Sorry, mate, 20 quid for this bandage.
Well, thank fuck that for every fucker like that, there is at least one that has to be right-thinking person. And take some comfort in that people behave differently on Facebook, and he probably doesn't truly, deeply, actually feel that way.
You haven't seen the latest Ali G sort of thing, have you?
Oh no! Guys, fucking hell!
I've seen the trailers, but
I watched it. Well, was that a trailer or?
That was the episode.
That was the episode. I watched it. It's fucking insane.
Episode 2 is fucking just as mad.
Really?
There's a guy. He goes down to the south.
Spoilers. Potential spoilers here.
Spoilers.
and he says, "I'm gonna build. How do you want $350 million worth of investment in your community?" And all the rednecks like, "Yeah." And then he unveils it and he says, "We're going to build a brand new, biggest mosque outside of an Islamic world."
Oh Lord!
It's fucking hilarious.
What did he say?
And they're like, basically, they're going crazy, basically.
Yeah,
Get out of here, we don't want this shit here, we don't want any Muslims around here, all this shit. And one guy's even like, the blacks are lucky that we tolerate them. I swear to God, it is unbelievable. And in the end, he's like, one of the guys like, "Now I know why you told us it was a no-gun event."
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
Of course.
They banned guns from the meeting because he knew people were going to get rolled up.
I'll tell you what though, he's fucking brave, because I think even if there is a no-gun rule, you can guarantee some fuckers got a conceal and carry license.
They get threatening.
Yeah. But they still could have done. They could have rioted and
beat the shit out of him.
Beat him to
with his own shoes.
Oh man.
It's hilarious and frightening at the same time.
The gun one was bad enough.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I mean, there was like kids, preschoolers being taught to shoot.
Oh, no.
2 to the chest, 1 to the head. They had like guns hidden in. He had an Uzi hidden in a fucking teddy bear.
Yeah.
There was an RPG dragon.
There was one for 12 to 24 months where it was a pull cord.
Yeah.
And the mouth opened in the bed, it shot someone.
Yeah.
He's like, "Make the bad man go for a long nap."
Yeah, that was it. Oh man. Oh. It's insane. But that was the reggae box.
Yeah.
I've seen that crop up a lot recently, and it bugged me quite a lot.
I think it quite rightly deserves to go in the reggae
Yeah.
box, and the people that share it. So
Push him in.
Yeah, well, that was the reggae box. I think we'll probably.
Do I get to shout it like "This is Sparta" and kick them in?
Yeah, we need to find the sound effect online of a chest closing shut.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, should we probably call it a break?
Yeah.
And when we come back, we're going to discuss the DC sniper, sometimes called the Beltway sniper. Bit of true crime with a little conspiracy twist at the end.
Yeah, as always.
So join us.
So let's get to the main thrust of today's topic, which is the DC sniper, sometimes called the Beltway sniper. So the DC sniper attacks were a series of coordinated shootings that occurred during 3 weeks in October 2002. The snipers were John Allen Muhammad, 41 at the time, and Lee Boyd Malvo, 17 at the time, and they travelled around in a blue 1990s Chevrolet Caprice sedan, which had been converted into a mobile sniper nest.
Oof.
Yes, I don't want to ever sound like I'm praising them, but the ingenuity. I mean, are we going to spoil it up front? Or?
Oh, I've got a bit about it at the end about how the car was modified. Yeah. I mean, it's quite ingenious and very simple, but
sickening genius.
Yes, I think that's the best way of describing it. Now, in September 2003, Mohammed was sentenced to death. The sentence was carried out on November 10th, 2009 by lethal injection. Because Malvo was only 17, he's an adolescent, he can't be tried as an adult, even though he did most of the shooting. He was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences without parole. I never understand the whole have 6 life sentences without parole. Just give him 1 life sentence without parole. What are you going to do? Keep him there for let him die. Right, how long do you live? 70. All right, another fucking 70 times 5 years in for you, mate. Keep him in that cell.
They use necromancy to bring him back to life.
Maybe. Maybe that's what it is.
It is daft, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why not just say he ain't getting out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I go through the history of the term sniper?
Can I just say that 10 people were killed in these attacks?
Yeah.
Just random people going about their day-to-day lives. So yeah.
They were sniped, and if Mike wants to tell us
a bit more about everyone knows what a sniper is, but Michael's going into the background a little bit.
Where does the word come from?
Yes, it originated in the 19th century with the British Army in India. The sniper is a small and fast game fowl, an extremely difficult target.
Yeah. So you hit one of them, you're a good shot.
Right. Okay.
But the modern snipers were sort of during the American Civil War.
Yeah, the sharpshooters. Yeah.
General Hiraim Badan was an exponent of the art and helped perfect the techniques.
There was actually an American Civil War general, and it's quite famous quote. He says he's got the sharpshooters are quite a distance away. He's on his horse, and they're like, "Sir, you should get down off your horse. The sharpshooters over there." He says, "Don't worry, they couldn't hit an elephant at this
Wow.
That's brilliant. I've heard that, yeah. And the first army school of sniping, observing and scouting was organised by the Brits by Major Hesketh Pritchard.
Oh, what year was that, do you know?
During the First World War, I think.
Because we had the, in the Napoleonic Wars, we had the Royal Green Jackets, which was Sharp, the 95th Rifles.
Oh, I love that show.
Dad loves
Yeah.
Sharp.
Everyone loves
The
Sharp.
books and the series.
I've got all the books myself,
Oh, good on
actually,
you,
and,
man.
and I do love the show. Though in the later years, it went a bit. You could tell the budget wasn't there.
As
It had a
with
better
most things.
yeah. But the 95th were the Experimental Corps of Rifle, and they focused on marksmanship and individuality, wearing dark green uniforms to blend in a little bit better.
I think the key.
Whereas standing around in a red coat in the forest,
Yeah,
not
There
the
is-
best thing.
There
But
is
I think
actually a
the key is-
sniping manual, army manual, online. It's like 100 pages long.
Mm.
Goes through everything from camouflage to techniques. You know,
thing is that
fucking-
A lot
I
of
think
maths involved in sniping as well.
A key distinction to make, I think, is that snipers that we're talking about are all involved in warfare.
Yes.
Now, we might not always agree with their intentions and what have you, but they're involved in the rules of war. You know,
You don't want to get caught as a sniper,
the
though.
sniper we're talking about in DC, this, pardon my French, motherfucker, and he's
Yeah.
right, were shooting legitimately
Civilians.
random. People misuse the word random. Oh, I randomly saw that. No, these were random people.
Yeah. Mainly at gas stations and
Not
car
criminals.
parks outside, because they're standing still for a while, aren't they?
Would you say it was
Yeah.
opportunist?
I'd say they weren't. Maybe they weren't. They were looking for that the easiest shot they could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were picking the people.
Picking the location
So
first, I
picking
imagine.
one- so you pick a car park, you pick a petrol station.
Well,
What you're doing while you're filling your tank up?
yeah,
Stood
standing
there.
still. Well, we're skipping ahead
Yeah,
now.
they are,
To
yeah.
be fair, but one of the victims was a man and his wife loading their car.
Yeah.
And he was going to shoot the man. He told the interviewers, I had the man in my sights, that's who I was going to shoot, but he went round the side and his wife came to the back of the car, so I just, fuck it. She blew her head off.
Yeah.
Bullet came out the front of her face.
Wow.
I saw the documentary, it showed the sort of CGI sort of sculpt of her skull, and yeah, like small entry wound,
Big exit
back of the
wound.
head, front of the head. Yeah.
It was a .223 caliber Bushmaster rifle that was stolen. A Bushmaster.
Now,
This
can you
particular
explain
model was
it in
a
layman's terms. Is that-
.223 is the caliber. Not the biggest round.
Right, okay, but is that accurate? Or...
Well, the rifle they're firing it from is made by Bushmaster, who also do a lot of military contracts in the US.
okay. Do you think they just used what they could get hold of? It
I
wasn't
think
chosen
it was
on
stolen,
purpose?
but
Oh, okay.
this would be considered. It was like a bit of an M16 clone.
Okay,
So it's that kind of looking rifle. They've got a holographic scope on the top,
alright.
which is
cool.
like a bit of a scope, and it's got a little red dot in it, and it's not quite. It's not a red dot sight, but it's a bit more powerful than that. It's got a bit of zoom on it.
Yeah.
It's accurate up to about 300 meters with that scope.
Fuck.
Some serious hardware, but in America, am I showing my ignorance? Can you not, with the correct licenses, just walk into your local gun store and buy that and
I
have it?
presume so. I don't
But
know.
he bought his.
He stole
illegally.
this. This was
He stole
stolen. We'll start with the attacks. 5:20 p.m. October the 2nd, 2002. A shot was fired through the window of a Michael's craft store, narrowly missing cashier Ann Chapman. You zoom he missed then.
So the first shot was a miss.
Yeah.
Oh.
But strangely, this is what I wrote strangely, no one was injured. No alarms were raised. It's like, oh, someone just fired a shot through the window. Oh, and this nearly hit me, that did.
I thought the first shooting, wasn't it a man in the supermarket?
Yes, but that's the first shot that was fired.
Oh, so their first shot, they completely
They missed it,
fucking
yeah.
I think that was the only one they missed as well.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to read an article later. You've already disproved it, but it did come from a, I think, fairly Christian, insane website. That there were 13 shots fired and 10 murders.
All right,
Oh, so did 12 hit then, and this one missed? I
Yeah.
guess they
This
shot
one.
somebody twice.
yeah.
Oh, fuckers. So yeah, but that's insane. So you're just doing you're working away, and a bullet comes through the window, and because nobody dies, you're just like, oh
Oh
well,
well, no one ring the police, eh? Don't worry them.
it is America.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how rough that part of town is.
But I guess any part of any town as well, everybody's packing. Sorry,
That's true.
I'm trying to bring the funny to a very serious subject.
However, about an hour later, James Martin, a 55-year-old program analyst, was shot and killed in the car park of a Shoppers Food warehouse store. So again, he's loading his shopping in.
Yeah.
He stood reasonably still. Boom. I think a lot of these were chest shots as well. There were probably a few headshots, but I'd imagine most of them are going for the centre mass here.
Is that an easier shot?
It's an easier shot. You're always trained to aim for the centre mass because it's a bigger target.
Right.
And
It's not as instant. It's still going to be fairly fatal.
Oh, you
isn't it?
could get a chest shot, lungs, heart. There's a lot of stuff. You can break your ribs. You can ricochet off your ribs, ricochet around. It's not a big bullet. It could do a lot of damage.
Well, I heard that when you're hunting animals, actually, a lung shot is a quicker kill, a more humane kill on certain big. I heard it on Joe Rogan with arrows shoot because he's a bow hunter. I think he's on about mooses.
Oh man.
On bears and stuff. But yeah, apparently a lung shot that pierces all the way through, you're going to have way more likelihood of killing the animal than going for the headshot. Apparently, that's what a good hunter would do. Forgive me, listener.
Bigger target as well.
Well, thing about it, I suppose. Forgive me, listener, if you're an expert. I'm a fucking idiot, just chatting to my friends, spatting out my bum. But I think if you think about the logic of it, if it pierces the lungs, I mean, how long do you survive without oxygen?
Oh yeah.
It's over fast, isn't it?
It's not going to go very far. You can walk up behind it, finish it off quicker, I suppose. Yeah.
Gonna drop quick, isn't it? As soon as because if you maybe go for the head and it pierces but doesn't go into the brain, it might run around a lot. It might have to wait for it to bleed out. Could take. I think the lungs. But I don't know if that's got anything to do with it.
I think a headshot's pretty instantaneous, isn't it? If you pierce
depends.
the skull.
But if you miss it, it doesn't
Well, if
go
you miss it,
through.
it could bounce off the skull. It could graze the skull. People
Yeah.
survive
There's a
trying to
reason.
headbutt it.
I think
Literally
it's
going through
bigger
the skull and missing the
target.
brain.
I don't know. I'm sure the reason he gave.
Okay, yeah.
Forgive me if
Well,
listener, if you know better. I'm sure it was that it's
Yeah.
quicker.
I'm not an expert in hunting. I don't really agree with
Me either.
hunting. So
But my point was, I guess, is he going for the chest because it's a quicker kill or because it's a more likely hit?
I think it's a bigger chance of hitting the target.
Right.
Is my personal opinion, because I don't think.
Because they're going to lie there and bleed out, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's still a nasty shot.
Yeah. But headshot, they're going to.
Oh, headshot. If the
It's
opportunity.
just gone.
Yeah,
Right.
with that.
Life's gone. You're
Yeah.
just dropping, you're dead. But this chest shot, the poor bastards had to lie there and contemplate what was going on for a bit
Yeah.
while they bled out.
Unless
So-
it's straight to unless they actually managed to hit him straight in the heart, in which case they'd be dead in seconds. They wouldn't
And
they
you're
just hit
just
the
a-
ground and die, I'd imagine.
You're just a bloke loading your fucking shopping.
Yeah. So then,
What's
we
the
go-
response to the authorities at this point?
Well,
Fusion.
yeah, we know there's been a shooting.
Is he a
That's kind of
criminal?
it.
Who's he attached to?
Yeah.
Why has this man been sniped? And then imagine
As he
that.
well,
that-
they didn't know he'd been sniped at first. He was like,
well, they'd know if it wasn't close range.
yeah,
I
but
guess.
I suppose when on first inspection, he's going to get down and go,
That's
he's
a
been
bloke
shot.
been shot. Yeah. Well, he hasn't been robbed. Nothing was taken. Who is this man? Did he have any
Enemies?
connections to any enemies? Anybody who'd want? And then you're going down all these blind alleys. No, what was his name? Sorry, Ben.
James Martin.
He's just James. He's just everyone
He's
says
a-
he's a solid normal bloke.
He's a
He
program
just-
analyst.
Fucking hell.
Good
do you
old
know what I
Jim.
mean?
Jim,
Yeah.
the program analyst.
He never said boo to a mouse, man. Who the fuck would shoot Jim? So they got nothing.
No, it is just literally a dead end. It's just a random murder.
Which does happen.
It does. Most victims don't never meet that. Have never met their
I think
murderer.
that's the opposite.
Is it?
I
I think,
think
isn't it someone you know? Or is
I
Yeah.
thought that was
sexual?
rapists.
No,
Dunno.
I'm sure I heard that sexual
Sexual assault.
assault
they
is
tend to
way
know the
more likely to
attacker.
come from a family member.
I always
family
thought murder
friend.
it was always a crime of passion, normally,
Okay.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's probably
Because serial
true to
killing is they're usually strangers.
Well, yeah, that is.
And remember, listener, you were the fact checker, so Google it now.
Yeah.
While you listen. It's a listen along exercise.
Yeah.
Shout at your headphones. It's this, you silly cunts.
Or send us a message on Facebook.
There you go. But don't call us cunts.
No, you can call Gaz a cunt.
Hey!
Let's just see him kick off.
Oh, them days are gone. Leave a lovely review, and I'll love you. So how long does it take for the next person?
Well, on the morning of the 3rd of October, they went on a bit of a spree and 4 people were killed within a 2-hour span.
Fuck. And this is a
And another was
small-ish
killed-
area of town, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and another was killed later on in the evening. So you go to 0741 in the morning. James L. Buchanan, 39, he was a landscaper. 0812, part-time taxi driver. Prem Kumar Walekar, he was 54. 0837, Sarah Ramos, a 34-year-old babysitter and housekeeper. And 0958, 25-year-old Lorianne Lewis Riviera. she was washing her RV out at a petrol station. And then finally at 21:20, retiree Pascal Charlotte, who was 72. So he went on a bit of a rampage that day. That's definite. These are spree killers.
Yeah.
That's how they're classified.
And the police know it's random.
The police are now like, shit, something is getting. Someone's doing this. We know that someone's doing this.
Yeah, this is deliberate.
Yeah. In each shooting, the victims were killed with a single bullet fired from distance. Now, imagine the fucking fear that now spreads. I mean, you're going out and about. You don't know if someone's staring at you from the sides of that gun. You've no idea. This guy's already fucking killed 5 people.
We completely fucked the town up, didn't
Oh
it?
fuck yeah! I mean, the whole Washington DC itself. I mean,
Because this was in a fairly contained area, wasn't it? Or these original, up to this point.
yeah,
This is not like, you know, Washington's a big place, but this is a certain section, isn't it? It's like, this is happening fairly contained.
yes.
So they're all in the one state.
No, they were spread across a few states.
Yeah.
There was,
That's later on though.
Maryland,
I'm
Virginia,
saying
Washington, but they
at
were
this
yeah.
point.
At this point, it's still in
This
one
point,
state.
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine
That's what I was trying to
just
get.
Being
Yeah.
a local resident in that, like you're saying, it shut the place down, man.
Yeah,
And
I mean, schools went into lockdown. They're under blue alert, which is basically keep them all indoors, no one goes out. They're busting and out.
Yeah.
It's
Do you know that people, when they were walking, they were zigzagging,
yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
so they weren't an easy target.
that's bullshit though. Doesn't work.
Well, it
Yeah,
doesn't
but-
matter. It's just the psychological effect of the people.
'Cause
To
you
actually
just
manipulate the way you're
I
walking.
read this.
You see the
I read
interview
it-
with the guy who was like, listen
Go on.
man, I'm telling you, we've been stood here for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit, you know, we've got that van there protecting us a little bit, but he's like, I'm
It's dead jumpy. It is.
constantly,
It's
like, he's
fucking-
like, well, you fucking would be.
That's
'cause
what I mean. Yeah, you
no
would.
one's connected, that's
No.
the genius of it.
It
Well,
could be you
sick
next.
genius.
It
It
is.
could be you.
Yeah, it could be you.
It's a-
If they're looking for I think it's targets of opportunity. Anyone stood still,
Yeah,
because I don't think they want the easy shot. Easy shot, boom,
Get out of there.
Get out of there.
Because we're going to explain a bit later how they were able to, because nobody put eyes on anybody shooting. There was no flashes from any rooftops. Nobody had anything. And the police are pleading, aren't they? They're
They
going
are.
on TV saying if you've got anything, any kind of, and they're getting hundreds of tips and calls and
Well, they
people
went
saying
there-
it could be my friend Bob in the office. He's a bit cuckoo. And he's always talking about guns. They got so many they can't keep up with them.
And they make the wrong call at the start because one of the shootings there was a white box van
Yes, this is one of the.
spotted nearby, and they immediately assumed, well, what, you're shooting from the back, you're shooting from somewhere. Well, you could just raise that back door up a bit,
Yeah.
lie down, take the shot, lower the door, van goes off. They're thinking van,
This
and
is
they
actually-
they stop every single fucking white
Yeah.
box van, and there's a lot of. Now, the
There's
thing is-
thousands.
yeah,
This
but
is one of the conspiracies.
The car
you know.
was pointed out. Someone said there was a blue 1990 Chevrolet, but they discounted that. You can't shoot from that.
Well, do you know this is one of the conspiracies? The white vans. Some people think that information was put out on purpose because, like you just hit nail on the head. How many white box vans are there? They're one of the most common road vehicles you could imagine.
Yeah.
Out for deliveries and all that normal everyday stuff. So imagine, like you just said, being a average citizen, every time you see a white box van, you are gonna shit your pants.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
Now, some people, the conspiracy is that was put out there on purpose to cause that fear. They wanted.
And we were in the aftermath of 9/11.
We were about to go into Iraq. Iraq was happening right around this time, right?
Yeah,
There's a lot of
absolutely.
anti-Muslim
Yeah,
sentiment
they were trying
and stuff.
The far
Lot
right
of
were
whipping
trying to put it onto the Islamic terrorists, weren't they,
Yeah.
and said it was them.
Yeah, so this is one of the. So to say that a white box van, probably the most common vehicle you can think of, that sent the city into a sort of frozen panic terror. When, like you've just said as well, they knew the blue car had been seen as well.
Yeah.
Like, but they put. So that's the conspiracy. Some people think that information was put out there on purpose to cause that panic and to be able to put everyone on lockdown for a bit, and maybe for some political end.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely,
Makes
especially
sense.
in terms of the alt-right media who
Yeah.
do love to spin anything they can for a shot at a Muslim, pardon the pun.
Yeah, they love to
Especially at this
exploit
time.
crises for their own.
Yeah, agenda.
Yeah. For anything to further their own agenda.
the NRA could have had something to do with this as well, because they always see a bump in sales around these
They do.
incidents.
You think it'd be around, wouldn't you? You think.
Yeah, but no, it doesn't work
Yeah.
that way. It's crazy.
No, because you're thinking, oh, if someone takes a shot at me and misses, I can get down
and that's factual. That's not tinfoil hat. That is factual. The aftermath of school shootings and.
You have to wonder whether that boils down to also police budgets.
Mm.
Because would they have that amount of say in Congress that they could go, oh, you know, maybe the police budget shouldn't be so high for these states because gun sales are down. So, oh yeah, there's a cut to police numbers in this state. Gun sales go up. You got to wonder whether that's an interesting theory.
Mm. It's always about money. I know that much.
Well, the NRA are a Russian-controlled agency anyway. We all know.
Oh.
So moving swiftly on.
Now, at this point, Mohammed and Malvo started covering a wider area, taking 2 or 3 days between shootings. Shootings. I went a bit fucking local there, sorry. Shootings. October 4th, 43-year-old homemaker Caroline Sewell was wounded in the chest at 2:30 outside a store. October 7th, this is at 8:10 in the morning, Iran Brown, 13 years old, student, shot in the chest and critically wounded as he arrived at school. However, he survived and he did testify at Mohammed's trial.
This is when it turned dark, didn't it? Because they attacked a school kid.
Yeah.
Did you see the video of the police chief crying on now?
Detective Moose.
I hate to say this, but because this is very serious, but it made me feel this is a bit like an action movie now, because the police chief's got a tear rolling down his cheek, and he literally said, "Well, you know, now it's personal. You're shooting kids, it's personal." And I was like, "Fucking hell, yeah! Like he's gonna punch this guy off a roof."
So he wasn't an old guy.
He's gonna hunt him down personally.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking get fired from the force. And just do it rogue on his own time.
Denzel Washington style.
Oh, yeah, beat the shit out of
Man
this
on
guy.
Fire.
Yeah, Man on Fire.
Oh, that film. Holy fuck, that's one of my favourite films of all
I've got to
time.
watch that again. I
What
haven't seen
an
it in
ending.
years. It's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Oh,
Gets the last laugh, doesn't he?
Yeah, but the very ending. Spoilers, but God, I love that film.
One of the best revenge movies ever made.
Oh, it's so beautifully shot and just greasy. Fuck.
And he's
It's awesome, isn't it?
It's a good film, man.
Yeah.
he's actually Moose is chief of police for the Montgomery County, Charles Moose.
There you go. That's where this
And,
was happening.
Yeah, it's like that. Do you think that because we've all watched a lot of action movies and Charles Moose didn't look that old, did he? Didn't look an old. Do you think that
He looked like Denzel Washington,
he
didn't
did
he?
look like Denzel
Yeah, he had a
Washington.
bit of a
Do you think
style
he did?
about it.
Because he's been conditioned over the years, like us, watching action films. Do you think that if we ever got to that kind of position, we'd throw in a line or do a mannerism for an action movie because that's what we've been conditioned with? So it's like you'd be
looking straight
so
to
you got a
camera.
sniper.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah. So you got a sniper, and you're like, take the shot, just like in a movie style voice. Do you reckon?
Maybe.
Like we alluded to the other,
Well,
Glass in the Paddock, make it rain.
Well, I think
You know.
we'd probably react like him because we're all human.
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I mean? Shut a kid, man. It's personal now. Tear rolling down his cheek. Fuck. Well, think about well, you wouldn't want to be in his position,
Oh,
would you?
no.
Nice
No.
peaceful area normally, nothing too bad happening. Well,
Well,
you know,
no, we're in the USA. It's
We're in
pretty shit.
Washington. We're in also like
You know, I mean,
a
comparatively
suburb of
speaking,
Washington
This
DC.
isn't fucking, like it's not downtown.
It's pretty bad
No,
for
it's a
America.
suburb of Washington DC.
Yeah,
it's
it's fairly
it's out
quiet,
in the
man.
it's out in the fucking.
Well, if it's pretty bad for America, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, but this place wasn't. Do you know what I mean?
No,
It's a fairly
yeah,
sleepy.
this stood out, didn't it? Because this was pretty bad.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So this shit starts happening. In fact, he's probably the worst thing he has to deal with is those kids are skateboarding outside the thing again.
Well, I'm sure there are multiple murders, Gaz.
I'd imagine there's a lot of shootings going
There's
on.
a lot of
But
gun
certainly-
crime and
But the problem is, your
Your
average sort of
on telly. It's all like lovely. Anyway, I'm
your,
just saying, it wasn't that
your
bad.
average sort of gang on
It is.
gang, your average sort
It's
of gang on
bad.
gang crime is
Yeah.
just like there's a couple of dead bodies rocking up every day. This is some guy going out
Yeah,
there,
that's what I mean.
just shooting random people. You citizens are in fear. You've got no leads. It could be literally, and that's. I was trying to get into his head a little bit when I was researching this, thinking, well, how the fuck do you even start? You know. The bullets are dead ends because the gun's stolen.
you go to the criminal psychologist who
Yeah, you
all
get a
said it was a
profile.
white person.
Do you know why that is? Because black serial killers are very, very rare. There's only ever been 2, and only one of them is like
Yeah.
famous.
Oh, they're just really good at it and they don't get caught.
Oh, maybe.
Sorry. That was.
But
Hey, I'm allowed to joke.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's the reason. That's why they went straight away to the white guy.
I can believe it, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
they fucked up.
They did. But
They done
we
fucked
can
up.
understand why.
at this scene, the shooting of the student, this is where it takes a little bit of a turn for the weird, because they found the shell casing, as well as a tarot card, which is the death card, inscribed with the phrases, "Call me God" on the front, and on the back, in 3 separate lines, "For you, Mr. Police, code call me God," and then "do not release to the press."
Yep, what they did, didn't they?
Yeah. Now my theory is on that he wanted to communicate with the police somehow, much like BTK did before his. Can I send these floppy disks to you if they've been Yeah, of course you can. I think that's like, I know that we're on the level. If you don't release this, I don't want anyone else taking credit for what I'm doing. Because you release that, you're going to get copycats, you're going to get people writing in saying, "Oh yeah, I'm the killer." Like, much of the Jack the Ripper had all the fake letters sent to the newspapers and to the police. I think that's why he wanted that. I think he wanted credit for what he was doing. So he's got an ego. That would tell me straight away he's got an ego. Well, of course.
He said, "Call me God."
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be the biggest ego trip ever, isn't it?
Of course he does. Then...
And I assume he felt like it, Gaz, at the time.
Yeah.
Just think about it, man. You just killed, like, how many people at this point?
I think we're up to about sort of 5 or 6 at this point.
5 or 6 people. The media and the public are going fucking frenzied.
Of course he's loving it, yeah.
Power trip from that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you're
And the fact
if
you're
you're
looking...
that way inclined, which they obviously are to have even done it in the first
Well,
place.
you call me God as well. I mean...
Yeah, but you're looking down that rifle scope at somebody and you're making a decision whether that person's going to stay alive or not.
God.
They have got no idea you're there.
It's it godlike, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. You got literally got the power of life and death in your hands, and I bet you they had a lot of. I wouldn't surprise if they fucking tossed a coin.
Good done.
You know, wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So
frightening.
Yeah, it is. It's terrifying. I mean, imagine going about your daily business knowing this is going on.
That's why you shouldn't have guns ready available in fucking supermarkets.
So anyone can get hold of
Anyone can buy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, people. I mean,
Come on,
dear
people.
Americans, some of you must realise that you're the only country in the world that allows this, because everyone else can see it's batshit insane.
Yeah, and as 3 British people, I can tell you for a fact that we are not coming to invade you. You don't need all this country anymore. We're not coming back. We can barely get our own shit in order.
That's it.
Never mind invading America. You're fine. Trust me. Trust me. Honestly. No one's even calling for all the guns to go. It's just, let's not give them out to lunatics.
Well, that'd be a start.
Yeah.
That would be a start.
Yeah, let's not give them to mentally ill people. That would be a nice idea.
But like they always say after a big mass shooting, now's not the time to talk about it.
Thoughts and prayers, guys.
Thoughts and prayers. Send those thoughts and prayers.
Send some my way.
Wouldn't it be nice if prayer worked? Never has though, has it?
Well, they say it does.
It
Maybe
hasn't.
some positive thinking. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe
Can't
manipulating.
be that working that well because there's been a lot of mass shootings.
Well, yeah.
A lot of prayers got answered, Gaz.
But maybe individual people, I'm saying, maybe you could pray for yourself and change your own, because it's just thinking nice things, isn't it, or something? I don't know. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Who do they shoot next?
October 9th, 8:18 in the morning, 53-year-old civil engineer Dean Harold Myers was shot dead while pumping gas. October the 11th, 53-year-old Kenneth Bridges shot also pumping gas. See? Stationary target.
Yeah.
Easier shot. October the 14th, 47-year-old Linda Franklin, an FBI intelligence officer, was shot dead in a covered car park. So they were pretty parked up in the car park waiting for someone. That's pretty where the FBI sort of unleashed holy hell upon this fucking hunt for it, isn't it? One of our own's been shot here, right?
Well, that's when there is probably...
That's when the full fury of the Federal Bureau of Investigation comes crashing down on you.
Well, do you want to have a look at all
Agent Lynch.
I've got a list.
That was CIA.
I've got a list of all the
yeah.
agencies.
Oh God, right. So you got
You got about 7 from Maryland,
yeah,
county sheriff's departments. About 20 from Virginia,
yeah,
Maryland State Police, Virginia State Police. Then you've got the federal law enforcement,
all the feds.
Feds, man.
the ATF, the DEA, the FBI, the USCS, the USMS, the USPP, the USSS.
Of course, the US Secret Service would be on it, wouldn't they?
And the Department of Defence.
The DOD.
Dod.
That's a lot of people, a lot of money, a lot of manpower.
Yeah. Oh God, the Secret Service are all over this because what if he decides to take a pot shot at the president?
What, yeah?
Well, they're going to decapitate him. Or the leftist mobs are going to decapitate Trump on the
On the
White House lawn and his family.
Well, it could happen.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing that live on CNN.
Fake news.
Fake news. That'd be his last word, wouldn't it?
The CNN cameraman's there filming it and he just looks up at it and goes, fake news!
He goes, fake news.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Fake news.
Oh, so then we go to the 19th of October. 37-year-old Jeffrey Hopper shot in a car park. Passers-by called an ambulance. Well, his wife implored passers-by to call an ambulance. He survived.
Oh, good lad.
Presumably he also had medical insurance.
Yeah. And was white.
Now, authorities found a 4-page letter in the woods nearby that demanded $10 million and made threats specifically to shooting children.
Oh. Low blow, man.
Yeah.
Should we look at the active shooter, how to respond?
Yes, that's good practical
By
advice.
Homeland Security.
Okay. So you should, if there is an active shooter situation, you should be aware of your environment and any possible dangers. Makes sense. Take note of the 2 nearest exits in any facility that you visit. Also, but makes sense.
Okay.
If you're in an office, stay there and secure the door. That's probably not a good idea.
In any office anywhere. Even if
Well,
Oh yeah, barricade the fucking door. There's a shooter.
Yeah, and he's got a weapon that can empty a 30-round clip in 2
Yeah, but you've got a
seconds.
few filing cabinets in front of the door.
He could still get through that. He could get that door
I've seen
open.
films, you can hide behind a desk.
Oh, no.
Tip it up.
Not if he's got like a 5.56 or a 7.62. That ain't
I
working.
don't know what any of that means, but I've seen films.
M16 is a 5.56.
Oh, you
the
don't you-
AK-47 is a 7.62.
What happens is, Ben, you hide behind the table and the bullets all go off around your body, but none of them hit you.
Ah.
And then when he's reloading, you do a backflip off the wall and then put him in a headlock scissors, take him down, take his gun, kill him and his mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if one does hit you, it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah.
Of course, it just skims
and
your
you
arm.
go, "Ah!
You know,
Then you
ironically,
carry
an AK round, that's still taking your arm off.
Flesh wound.
No films.
Not in films, but in real life,
Yeah.
that little bullet skim, that's your arms off.
And then the building blows up inexplicably, but you're okay.
Yeah, because all that flying grass goes glass goes
Yeah.
magically around your body.
Yeah.
You might get the
Okay.
odd little nick on the back of your
And you
shoulder.
walk off with an exceptionally hot woman, and the credits roll, man.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen if I'm ever involved in an active shooting. So back to the
Back to
active
this.
advice.
If you are in a hallway, get into a room and secure the door. That's the same advice as the last one.
Yeah, but it's saying,
Makes
yeah,
sense, I guess.
just get out of the hallway and
Just
get
get
into
the
a room.
fuck
Yeah.
out. Yeah, get down, man.
Oh, I like the last one.
So.
As a last resort, attempt to take the active shooter down.
Jesus!
When the shooter is at close range and you cannot flee, your chance of survival is much greater if you try to incapacitate him or her.
What, with the fucking staple gun?
Anything,
I'll have you, you fucker.
man. If you smack anybody in the right place when they're not expecting it, you can take that shooter down.
Hey, some of them staplers are quite heavy. If you've got one of them in your hand,
Well, yeah.
you know, round the temple.
A steel chair. You've seen wrestling.
Yeah. Now office chairs, mate, they're heavy.
A steel chair
No
puts
steel
people
chairs in
down
offices.
for fucking ages.
Yeah, but there's no steel chairs in offices.
It's got to be a medium fire axe in the...
A medium-sized fire axe.
Did you see his head go?
Oh yeah, just imagine, you're like, oh shit, there's a shooter, and you look up and you see the fire axe. And you're like, oh yeah.
And then you hear the guitar.
Metal riffage increases.
Yeah, that's how we deal with active shooters.
Yeah, man.
He saved the whole school. It was amazing.
Did you have to take his ears though after? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Hail Crumb! What's the quote from Barbarian? You know, what is best in life? To see your enemies destroyed, their women and children in
To hear the
chains.
lamentation of the women.
That's it.
See your enemies crushed before you and to hear the lamentation of the women.
That's what you say in the press conference after. Yeah, and you should also call 911 when it's safe to do so.
I've got a feeling that if this was British,
It would
there's no
take you
way...
calm and carry on.
There's no way it would have attempt to take down the active shooter. I think that's specifically American advice.
No, that's some good
No, I think-
CIA
No, I mean,
Do you think? I think in the UK that would be.
Don't just cower in a ball. If you want to live, Mike,
you're gonna have to
say
fight.
stand up.
I know,
and
with
knock
the Brits.
fucking gun off him. Yeah, but we're more likely to.
Can you imagine Colin in fucking accounting taking on an active shooter?
He'll safe.
Yeah, you.
I'm not fucking having this, you fucking twat.
For all you know,
He's
Colin's
just
a fucking secret sociopath. You've got no idea.
Colin
that's
might
true.
drop the nut on him. Survival instincts will kick in.
You
I
know,
think
maybe-
he'll just shit himself and get shot.
Well, that's fine. He's got shot. It's up to you then.
All right, peep show,
Use
Mark.
him as a human shield then, Mike.
Yeah,
You pick him up, use him as a
Human
human
shield.
shield.
Throw it. Launch
Throw
yourself
him at
at
the guy with the gun, he drops the gun, you pick it up, you fucking headshot him with the round, and then you get out the corridor, room by room, you know.
He's got behind
and then
Colin.
you do your
He's
own-
got behind Colin.
Clearing
Snap his
corners.
neck.
Yeah.
Clearing corners, you know.
See you later, Colin, you cunt.
Like, you-
Ah, innit? Come on, Mike. The survival instinct would kick in. I know you're a pacifist.
Yeah.
You'd pick Chester up, put him under your arm. with
Launch
the
him
gun
at
in
the
your hand.
gunman.
Gun in your
You'd launch
hand.
Chester at the gunman.
Yeah.
I could never do that to an animal. That's fucking. That's a,
You know
Yeah,
it's
but you know Cat's going to evade. He's going to
It's
evade
you and
that
Chester
bullet.
against
Well,
the
that's a good
fucking
point,
government.
actually.
It's you and Chester against the jackbooted, gun-toting evil that's bursting your door down to execute you because you're a white male and we're nearly illegal.
yeah,
Allegedly.
I agree.
Yeah.
But-
you're going to fight. Or just
Colin out of accounts is going to do that.
Yeah, but on the plus side, while they're
I'd probably
distracted,
will as well. Mike.
while they're distracted by shooting Colin from accounting, you can sneak up behind them and hit them with something heavy.
Yeah. I'd probably
Yeah.
just shit myself in a ball and like try and put them off with the disgustingness of that squirt shit like a skunk.
Oh man, imagine forensics turning up and there's you alive, but with this splatter of liquid shit about 6 foot out from your anus while
Falls
you're curled up in the
backwards
fetal
and
position.
shoots all his mates behind him. The first one against the shit squirt in the face. He falls back, shoots all his mates behind him. And I come crawling out of there, covered in my own liquid shit.
With a gun in your hand,
Yeah.
a roll up in the other.
Is that your superpower? You skunk man or something?
Squid man.
Squid man. You can shoot a fucking.
Is that like, can you do the Spider-Man thing except through your arse? So you like shoot 2 squirts of shit into someone's eyes in distance?
I have to get my trousers and pants.
No, you got tubes up your arse.
Tubes from my ass. So it comes out my wrist. Yeah. I'm
Problem is you're
Better
wearing
than no superpower.
Problem is you're wearing assless chaps.
Yeah, but it'll be alright if anyone says anything.
We'll send it to Marvel, but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
I'm seeing a yellow bodysuit.
Assless chaps.
With assless chaps.
I'm a squid.
Yeah. It
There we
does,
go, that's what you do when you're confronted with an active shooter.
you become a superhero.
You stick tubes up your arse and shoot them.
I just want to point out, right, we've gone into all of that, but the most important thing to point out about that last bit of advice, it does say, as a last resort. Not actively go trying to get Colin to take him out. Or distract them using Colin while you just run. Just run.
Just leg it.
I just don't think it would be in a British manual. I'm just saying.
Well, maybe not.
I think there's a culture difference there.
I suppose you always have got the possibility one of your office workers has got a conceal and carry permit. And even if they've been shot, you could take their gun
Well,
off.
exactly.
The janitor's probably got one gaffer taped under his desk for fuck's
They're all
sake.
packing, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know, would you take a gun to work with you?
In a rough
I'm-
Mate,
Actually,
you would,
in America,
because you're driving around rough
Ben,
arse.
in America, I'm surprised that isn't top of the list. Not as a last resort. The first thing you do is attempt to
Just
take
fire.
him down.
They do say they need more good guys with guns.
Actually, so yeah.
You just need squid, man.
But can you turn up in your bad white transit van?
The squid mobile.
A big S on the side.
Is that the one with your shitty mattress in the back?
And all my shitty pants from where the squits went wrong. I
Jars
went
of it
off.
to maintain jars of it in case
Jars
you need a
full of
resupply. Yeah.
Oh God, it's horrific.
I don't think you'll get that into the MCU, mate. DC might do a film of it, though. They're pretty desperate at the moment. Can we go back to the crime?
I think we just committed a crime. Okay, come on. Back.
Whew. On October 21st, police arrested 2 men with a white van, so they're still looking at the white
Wasn't
van.
me.
They turned out to be illegal immigrants and were subsequently deported.
Oh, fucking hell.
They did nothing wrong, so sorry mate, you're illegal, get the fuck out.
Oh, fuck me. Poor fucks.
On October 22nd, bus driver Conrad Johnson, 35, was shot at 5:56 a.m. standing on the steps of his bus.
Poor bastard.
Chief Moose at this point released part of the content of the letter recovered from earlier. It says, quote, "Your children are not safe anywhere or at any time."
Ooh. If Chief Moose says it.
Well, that's in the letter that they found.
Ah.
From a 4-page letter basically wanting $10 million and threatening kids. Johnson is a 10th fatality. The spree comes to a halt at 03:15 a.m. October 24th, 2002. So the police have actually realised now that this car is the one they're looking for. They managed to track it down. And first of all, it is literally 2 officers who are covering it. And then, like, the entire federal fury descends upon this car park.
Yeah.
You know, you've got
Just
fucking
2
SWAT
guys.
teams,
Yeah.
FBI teams, local law enforcement.
I mean, if you think about it, like,
all the alcohol, tobacco, firearms, the Secret Service are showing up probably. Everybody is. It's just like, it must have been a sea of blue lights just surrounding this
yeah.
this car. And they were just asleep.
Mm-hmm. They didn't even get to crack him in the mouth.
No, the
Say
stolen.
something witty.
No,
Oh well.
no, it was recorded anyway. I bet someone did. I bet someone called him a son of a bitch.
I hope so.
I'd imagine they gave him a bit of a beating as well.
Yeah. This one deserved it, I think, though. If it was him.
Well, I suppose there is that. I suppose you've got the conspiracy side of things, so. A stolen Bushmaster rifle, .223 caliber, and a bipod were found in the car. The trunk of the car, this is the sniper nest now, the trunk of the car had been modified to serve as a rolling sniper's nest. The back seat was modified to allow access to the boot, or the trunk, if you're American, where the shooter could lie prone with shots taken from a small hole near the number plate.
Was there one for the sights as well? One for the barrel and one for the sights? That's fucking evil genius,
Yeah.
isn't it, really?
Yeah.
That's
No
why they
one
couldn't
spotted it.
figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
Where they were
Spy
shooting
movie,
from.
Man. Fuck. How did they get the brains to think of that?
Well, he was in the army.
But that doesn't mean he would necessarily, unless he was given this, told how to do this. To pull
Did
this
you
off.
go through basic sniping training?
Marksmanship
He
would
was
be a
a
requirement,
marksman,
but not sniper training. But you,
He was an average marksman.
Well,
the
I
old
was
guy.
taught to shoot at 300 metres. Your sights on your iron sights on a rifle are set to your battle sights are set to 300 metres.
Yeah.
So I was taught to shoot at 300 metres. He'd have been taught to shoot at 300 metres.
Yeah, so there's not much of a big leap from that into designing your own rolling sniping nest.
No, because the thing is,
You know what I mean?
you're in the army. You're looking at stuff. People are always
pretty
spitballing
genius,
ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, oh yeah, well, obviously you need
Some
the
guy
right-
probably,
you-
some sniper
yeah.
probably bragging about how he got.
Yeah.
You know, I did this rolling fucking sniping nest the other day, and it worked beautifully.
Or maybe it was someone telling him about how he's got this. He doesn't have to get out of his truck in the cold weather because he's drilled these 2 holes in his car, and he can go and
There you
hunt
go.
from the back of his van.
Yeah, doesn't take much of a leap, does it?
Maybe it's not even that much of a leap, and maybe it's a common thing for hunting in cold weather if you don't want to go outside.
Well,
Park your van up, drill 2 holes in the back. There you go. Who knows?
I'm quoting from a website called cuttingedge.org, and I'm not sure if the whole website or just this article is. It just turned out at the end to be like religious and telling you to go and be born again and stuff.
All right.
I was like, oh shit.
Can I have the backy then? While you,
They
you
say-
read this, I'll
Investigators probing the lives of the 2 men arrested in connection with the sniper attacks say that one was recognised by the army for his marksmanship and might have been motivated by anti-American sentiment. John Allen Muhammad, 41, is a former soldier and Gulf War veteran who was stationed at Fort Lewis, south of Tacoma, Washington. When I heard that Muhammad was stationed at Fort Lewis, Washington, that information rang a bell. Former Illuminati Satanist Wheeler states in her book, The Illuminati Formula to Create an Indestructible Mind Control Slave, said that the Illuminati maintains a strong section at Fort Lewis dedicated to the psychic warfare part of the monarch programming.
The monarch programming.
Thus, while Muhammad was reportedly just an average marksman, he was stationed at the very army base where monarch mind control is located. This fact is interesting, but not conclusive by any means. And I'll read a little bit more of their insane... I mean, their
legitimate
study and theories a little later on.
Excellent.
Do you have anything?
I've got the aftermath and the motives that, well, what very little motive there was on Mohammed's part, but
Well, they were Manchurian.
Malvo seemed to have some strong opinions.
Manchurian candidates, surely.
Maybe.
Well, these Christian people seem to think so.
Yeah, but they also believe in a burning bush and a talking snake.
Yeah, they think it because of what the chief, Mr. Moose, is it Moose or Goose?
Moose.
What he said on the, and you can see this on YouTube if you look it up. You can see him on TV saying, quote, "You've indicated that you want us to do and say certain things. You've asked us to say, we have caught the sniper like a duck in a noose," which is apparently from an old Cherokee Indian story about a rabbit duped by a duck. So
rabbits shouldn't be getting duped by ducks.
But were they trigger phrases?
Wow.
That were setting him off.
Manchurian Candidate.
Exactly.
But who was the Manchurian Candidate? Both of them, or was one controlling the other?
Well, I think this is suggesting...
Or someone else controlling both of them?
Well, possibly both. I think this is suggesting that it was the older guy and maybe he influenced the other one.
Well, should we see what the... you want to know what the wife said about what she thinks?
Oh, yeah, because I think I know what her theory is. Let's enlighten the listener. Are we all quite high?
Yeah.
Reasonably.
Pretty high.
Oh, I need a lighter as well.
Right.
A travesty.
In a sensational new book, she claims her ex-husband shot all those people simply to lay the ground for another murder, her own, so that he could regain custody of the 3 children. We've discussed this, haven't we?
Yeah, was that before the mics were on or while they were on?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm so
Maybe not
sorry, I
then.
can't remember.
No, it was before.
That essentially, he wanted a reason to kill his wife, and the scenario came up was, imagine if people were genuinely, randomly being shot, and she was one of them. That's the perfect scam, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course.
If he's psychologically capable of murdering a bunch of random people. So he went and killed 10 random people, just so he could get away with then shooting his wife to gain custody of his children. What do you guys think the likelihood of that is?
Well, I know that it wasn't actually used in the prosecution because they just didn't think there was any weight to it.
Is it based on his? Is that just her claims?
Yeah,
basically?
because he never said
Which
anything
makes
about his
sense,
motives.
doesn't it?
He never said anything about his motives. That's the
Well,
best
I've got from the horse's mouth, as to speak. I've got an interview with
All right, okay, that's fine. I mean, Malvo has got some pretty.
Which one's this? An interview
Lee
with?
Colvin, the young
The
one.
little one. Let's see what this sick little fucker's got to say.
Malvo. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some fucking strong opinions, but Mohammed, the older guy,
No, he didn't know.
he never said anything. Malvo thinks he's a fucking jihadist.
Ready?
Yep.
He says he's a different person now, not the same young man who terrorized the entire Washington region for nearly a month.
I mean, I was a monster. If you look up the definition, I mean, that's what a monster is. I was a ghoul. I was a thief. I stole people's lives.
Lee Boyd Malvo, convicted in the D.C. area sniper case, says he's truly sorry for what happened. His exclusive interview with the Washington Post comes on the 10-year anniversary of the shooting spree that left 10 people in the Washington region dead over the course of about 3 weeks. Speaking from Red Onion State Prison in Virginia, where he's serving a life sentence, Malvo, who's now 27, tells the Post's Josh White what it was like to be under the control of his older partner in the killings, John Allen Muhammad.
And he told me the old person has to die. Lee Malvo has to die.
And he gives jarring descriptions of how they deliberately, but randomly, went about shooting their victims. It's the detail in Malvo's account that is often so haunting, like his description of what happened here in the parking lot of this Home Depot, when Malveaux was the spotter and John Allen Muhammad shot Linda Franklin, who just happened to be in her car. Malveaux describes how he gave the signal to shoot, how Muhammad, on a hill nearby, fired the kill shot, and how the image of Franklin's husband is the one that stands out for him.
The first one is Mr. Franklin's eyes. And what makes it, they're penetrating, but it is the worst sort of pain I've ever seen in my life. His eyes. It's the worst. Words do not possess the depth in which to fully convey that emotion. And what I felt when I saw it.
Retired FBI agent Brad Garrett, who questioned Malveaux after his capture, says he's not surprised that Malveaux is willing to pin much of the terror on Muhammad when he wasn't before.
The spell is gone. The whole idea that Muhammad was a good person or actually helped him in life has dissolved. And so now what he's doing is stepping forward. He's taking responsibility, but he's clearly putting Muhammad in the picture.
Muhammad was executed in 2009. Josh White, the Post reporter, couldn't get new pictures of Malveaux. The prison allowed no cameras, writing utensils, or paper. White interviewed Malveaux through plexiglass.
Can you tell us what he looks like now?
You know, he looks similar to what he looked like before, though about 10 years older.
Oh shit,
Sherlock! Guy. He's not particularly tall. He's not particularly heavy. His hair was very closely cut.
Paul LaRufa, one of the first people shot during the spree, says he forgives Malveaux.
If I held the same hate today or that I felt in 2002 when he tried to kill me, I would have wasted or just damaged the last. I would have let him damage the last 10 years of my life, and he hasn't.
One particularly chilling account from Malveaux in the Post interview, he said during the shooting spree he sometimes went to the news conferences held by law enforcement officials. Malveaux said he went to those events for, quote, intelligence collection. Wolf, when those officials were speaking and telling us where they thought the killers may be, he was sometimes in the audience.
I was sometimes at those news conferences myself. That is pretty chilling. But he does speak about one particular incident where he supposedly, Malveaux, defied Muhammad. What happened?
That's right. Malveaux says that at one point, John Muhammad told him he would have to kill a pregnant woman. Malveaux says when the time came, he simply just didn't do it, and he later told Muhammad that the circumstances just weren't right for him to pull the trigger. That's the one time he drew the line. He couldn't kill a pregnant woman.
Malveaux serving life in prison without the possibility of parole. So he'll spend the rest of his life there.
Yes, he will.
Well, he fucking deserves it, in all fairness.
Well, yeah. Whatever control he was under, he's...
Well, that's true.
Could we just stick a quick...
Yeah, we can.
Please?
And we're back. So, what are we doing first?
We're going to mention the fact that he couldn't shoot a pregnant woman.
That's right.
And
It's strange.
what we've discovered about the Israeli army wearing t-shirts with pregnant women on and a bullseye and the line 2 for the price of 1.
Wasn't it like, maybe not them wearing them, but they were for sale?
Oh, were they for sale.
They were definitely a real t-shirt that was going around Israel, man. Like, just fuck. So yeah, snipers are cunts.
They are.
Because look, like we said, if it's in war, under those rules or whatever, and they're doing a thing, I guess. But if you're shooting civilians from a distance, randomly, that's pretty cowardly and
of course it is.
horrifically shit, isn't it? Pussies. You should try that on Hulk Hogan.
The bullets just bounce off his muscles.
Yeah, exactly. And he'll crawl over to you and lift the car above his head and fucking yeah. I still believe. It's still real to me. He's my Jesus figure.
Well.
It's amazing how that works. You just replace Jesus with anything and believe in that. And it serves the same purpose. Gives you light in your darkest hour.
Sure it does, Gaz.
Do you have a little shrine to Hogan?
Of course.
You give offerings.
Steroids and beef.
Steroids and beef.
I plant these steroids and beef on the other or old stay took.
Yeah. So
Just wondering, that's all.
That's so good.
You're going to grow a skullet like him as well.
Yeah, you have been growing your
I have
hair.
actually told Leona that, look, from the sides, my hair's long at the back. If I shave bald the top, I would look exactly like him.
You would.
And I
You
could
go for it.
Shave my beard into the handlebar.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should definitely do that.
Yes. I won't get beaten up.
You would have
Did you see
definitely.
where I was in Birmingham today? You know, I posted the picture, the sign, instead of thieves will be prosecuted, it was a picture of a handgun and we'll basically, nothing is worth dying for. If I'm walking around my skullet and my handlebar moustache around that area, chances are someone's going to go for me wallet. Someone's going to think he's
They're not
fair
going
game.
to. They're not going to touch him. He's got a fucking skullet. No, he's got a skullet.
He's got a skullet and a handlebar moustache.
They'll literally call me a pedo, call the police.
That's probably more likely.
Walking around with my skullet driving me van. A 35-year-old with a skullet and a handlebar moustache driving around in his
I
van.
think you should do it.
Of course I'm going to get arrested.
And I'm sure that your lovely girlfriend won't leave you over the skullet and moustache combo.
She loves me that much. Nah, she'd shave me while I was asleep.
Yeah, she
Buy me
would.
like a bottle of whiskey, like, hey, you deserve this. So, thank you. That's a rookie. Get out of it, and she'd shave me bald completely, and I'd wake up, and I'd be angry at first, but then I'd say, do you know what? Thank you. That was a weird chapter in my life.
I was letting
wanna
it consume me.
Yeah, I want to put that behind me. I realise now that I'm not Hulk Hogan. I'm sorry.
And I'm off the beef and
I'm
steroids
off the
diet.
beef and steroids. I'm back on the weed and beer.
Are you just sticking steroids in the beef at that point?
Just trying to snort it.
Oh.
Jabbing it up my arse like a... What's it called when you have drugs up your bum?
Drug mule?
No. Like for medical... An epidural.
Oh, yeah. Not an epidural. What is it? Oh, man. Is it an epidural?
I don't know. When it goes up your arse.
Well, whatever. It's gone up your arse. That's the main thing.
Suppository.
Suppository.
Suppository, that's
what you're looking for.
I'm trying to stuff steroid-filled beef up my arse like suppository. Because it's the easiest way to do it. I minced it first.
Oh, man. I wouldn't want to be that then. I wouldn't see your toilet the following morning. Oh.
It looked like a rack on its
What would you
worst
do if
day.
you walked in on a middle-aged man with a skullet trying to shove steroids and beef up his arse?
Ground up steroids and beef. Yeah.
I'm not middle-aged, you
Technically, you nearly are, mate.
I'm going to live past 60, aren't I?
Well, yeah, you're 35.
Not in post-Brexit Britain, mate. No, you're not.
72's our lifespan, mate.
Oh, fuck.
I know.
Is that it?
I think
Why
it's
is
72 for
is
men and
because we're
78 for
working
women,
class?
isn't it?
Is
Might be 75 for men and 78 for women, something like that. I think women.
It's going down. It is actually going,
Yeah, it is
down,
going down.
since the
Oh,
2008
my.
crash.
Well,
Not for the rich people who live to 100 and...
fucking
Yeah,
hell.
the fucking Queen's doing alright,
celebrity's
isn't she?
still on stage, age 71. I'm going to die in a shitty little fucking what's it called?
Alone in a bed sit with a skullet.
Too much steroids and beef.
Oh, it's the steroids and beef. We always said it would. Oh, he wouldn't listen, bless him.
Just kept leg dropping people.
People he had no business leg dropping at all.
Back to the sniper.
His face was hanging on with staples by the end. He'd been punched so many times. That's my eulogy that you're going to do, Ben. I don't know why you've got that accent. Anyway, shall we get here? Quite rightly, let's try and do the subject.
Mulvo's tried to make himself out like a bit of a reformed character. But he's the only one that actually gave a motive. Mohammed never gave a motive. The wife thing, he never said nothing about that. Didn't say a word in his last words when he was executed. Just stared blankly ahead.
Because he was.
Malvo thinks he's fighting a jihad. He testified the aim of the killing spree was to kidnap children for the purpose of extorting money and to set up a camp to train children on how to terrorise cities with the ultimate goal of shutting down the USA.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Apparently there were two other accomplices that backed out at the last minute.
Yeah.
Wasn't there? I seen an interview with him and William Shatner. Believe it or not.
Okay.
The audio's terrible, so I couldn't play it. But
why is Captain Kirk interviewing the DC?
So
one of the DC
why
snipers?
did you shoot the random people from the
Yeah.
hood of your car?
that was basically it. Yeah.
Why did you choose a blue Caprice? Sorry, that was a terrible impression, but you get the idea. Why was he interviewing him? What the fuck?
He had a new show about
Interviewing killers?
yeah, something like that.
William Shatner interviews killers.
Something along them lines. I can't remember now. And it was his first episode.
That sounds like a Simpsons thing, doesn't it? Like William Shatner presents serial killers.
Yeah, but if you look online, there is an interview between them.
Wow.
But
Fantastic.
it's a phone interview. The quality's poor, so I couldn't play it.
Well, William Shatner's poor, so.
Oh man, I
Not
thought,
money-wise.
and I thought he'd have gone and interviewed him to a perspex screen. I thought he'd at least had the journalistic nose to go meet him face to face.
Why didn't he use a communicator?
Exactly.
I think it
Because
was
he's the inferior captain, Gaz.
No,
Yes.
he's not. Okay.
Picard would have got face to face with him.
Yeah, Picard would have charmed his way in.
Kirk, Picard, cage match. Kirk wins.
Well, yeah. Obviously, he's going to
Better
beat
captain.
into a pulp.
Yeah,
I
better
don't know.
captain.
I remember.
On them long nights and voyages, I want an intellectual discussion with Picard.
I want a bloke who's going to back me up in a fucking weird space bar fight.
You wouldn't
with
be a
Picard,
spacebar fight
yeah.
with Picard.
There wouldn't be. You wouldn't
Well,
get him
maybe
on.
I like
Talking
being in those fucking situations.
That's your problem. Stop trying to rope the captain into it.
Me and Kirk, fucking hell, we tear up the galaxy. Be amazing.
Wouldn't be a green woman left
Snorting green cocaine.
Wouldn't be a green woman left fucking unpregnant, would there?
No, we'd shag them till they turned fucking pink. Or something.
And that's how the human race started.
I like Picard, but anyway, we digress.
Yeah, we don't want to go on that.
No.
Ben, read about being a sniper and what it takes.
Okay, this is from a chap called Sergeant Ed Kugler, United States Marine Corps, retired. The screen's just gone off. I'll read the
first bit because it paints a picture.
Yeah. Raising his Winchester rifle to his shoulder, the young Marine sniper fixed the head of his quarry in the centre of the vertical crosshair of the scope. Hang in there, little guy, he said to himself. I've got one with your name on it. He breathed out and squeezed the trigger, just as he'd been taught in training. Soft and gentle, like you touch a girl's nipple. It's kind of erotic.
Ben, stop getting a boner, read on.
Is that how they train these guys?
Nearly a mile away, his victim crumpled to the ground. More than 35 years later, Sergeant Ed Kugler, United States Marine Corps, retired, reflects the sniper terrorising the suburbs of Washington is displaying some of the same skills and attributes he drew on that day as a 20-year-old in Con Thien, Vietnam. He says, his hit rate's pretty doggone high, and he's patient. The most difficult thing is getting out, and he's doing that, so when they compare this guy to serial killers, I don't see that at all. I honestly believe that when they find him, people will be surprised with his background. I don't think it'll be some obvious nutcase. He's probably a person who is not at all deranged, even though the act itself is deranged.
That's probably true there.
Yeah.
He wasn't a nutter, was he?
The credo of one shot, one kill, his coolness and the apparent refusal to acknowledge his victims as people are things that Kugler recognises instantly. The murders in Washington, Virginia and Maryland have caused him to examine his past once again.
Yeah, so that's what I think. You're training these guys, soldiers, to not have that compassion. You got to, otherwise you couldn't murder somebody, could you?
Well, do you want to hear how the Illuminati do it?
No, I'd love to.
Well, to create a trained assassin, the alters, which are the mind control slaves, commonly called deltas, were desensitized towards pain and death by being shown gory films.
Okay.
Hypnosis was also used. The potential victims were devalued. Satanic rituals were also involved in the creation of the deltas. Deltas will be trained in hand-to-hand combat and know the very vulnerable places to instantly kill people. Training included a great deal of expert weapons training. When the programmer wants to use these delta alters, he will call them up from their genie bottle, or wherever the signal is hidden deep within the mind. The delta will command to melt. When they have melted into the nothing state, Then the programmer gives an exact script of everything the Delta Alter is to do, just like you would program a computer step by step. For instance, the programmer might say, at a certain place, you will be in the melted state until you hear the words, I'm going to Kansas City. At that point, you will do part B of the script.
Wow.
As the programmer continues with the script, a Delta fragment will be given NWO codes.
Ooh.
New World Order, baby. Bank account numbers, debit cards, and major sports numbers. This exercise will simply compromise a mental floppy disk. The Delta Beta Alters are habitually lied to by their programmers when they are given their detailed scripts. They are never really given a chance to step outside their deep trance to ever hear the truth about what they are doing. They live their lives in a surreal fantasy world where nothing ever really makes sense. They don't try to think for themselves, they just follow the orders and the clues. And that is from a book called The Illuminati Formula to Create an Indestructible Mind Control Slave.
Seems kind of careless publishing a book about it.
Yeah. So yeah, was this guy just following triggers and...
Who do you think was following the triggers? Do you think it was Muhammad or Marvo?
The older guy.
You think he was the trigger?
Because
You
he
think
said
was...
fuck all.
I think he was the handler. I think the other guy with the change in his...
brainwashed one.
I think his army service was at that base where they did the mental programming. Maybe he got enough of his time there to know how to brainwash someone.
I don't know.
Like that Muvo was pulling the trigger a lot of the time.
Was he? He was a spotter, wasn't he?
He spotted, but he still pulled the trigger a few times.
He did pull it a few times, yeah.
He wouldn't shoot the pregnant woman. Maybe that was
maybe that
was a gap in the programming.
Is it not possible they were both?
It is absolutely. But it seems strange that he's
I'm not buying
out of that program.
I'm not buying it. I think it's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand the motives and that, but...
So what do you think his motive was then? Are we sort of getting to that stage where we're going to...
Well, can I tell you, I'll read this a little bit here.
Yeah,
about back to the Marine sniper guy, because it's quite interesting. I didn't have any feeling, he says. In fact, I worked at not having any feelings, and I paid for that for years afterwards. There was no remorse, there wasn't anything. So I don't have a hard time at all relating to what's going on out east. And his first kill, he says, to be honest, it was exhilarating. It was like scoring a touchdown. I can say from personal experience that it's about control, because that was what you felt as a sniper. A tremendous sense of power. Maybe the best word is intoxicating.
Comes back to the call me God.
Yeah. Snipers are different from regular soldiers because of the intimacy of the kill. There are a lot of guys who saw much more face-to-face combat than I did in Vietnam, Krugler says, but they never looked a gook in the eye.
Oof.
Because it was all jungle and they were just blazing away. Whereas we were deliberately making a decision to kill rather than just defending ourselves. Oftentimes the victims, were looking straight at us. They didn't know we were there, but we were looking right into their eyes.
Fuck, man.
Wow.
That's powerful
Dark,
shit,
isn't it, man? I don't
You know where the highest scoring Vietnam Marine sniper was a guy called Carlos Hancock? I can't remember off the top of my head how many kills he had. But you seen Saving Private Ryan where the sniper shoots the guy through the scope?
Yeah.
Hancock actually did that. Didn't mean to, but he was killing so many Viet Cong officers and MVA North Vietnamese Army officers. They sent out their best sniper to stalk him and catch him.
Oh, fuck.
And he knew he was coming because it was propaganda. There was a price on his head. Because if you're a sniper and you get captured, you don't get mercy. You're the guy that's being a bit unfair, aren't you? Everyone else is toe-to-toe. You're sat in that fucking tree, 200 metres away.
It says you were a folk hero among the Marines, but you were viewed pretty much as an outcast and as crazy, said Kugler. The way you were treated fueled the whole thing. The devastating psychological impact and offensive capability of snipers, coupled with their almost de facto inhumanity, has given their deadly trade an almost mystical aura.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of maths involved with it as well. The longest sniper kill recorded is something like 3.5 miles. It was like a Royal Marine Commando in Afghanistan. He had to aim something like 47 feet to the left and 50 something feet.
You got to count you got to judge the wind.
Yeah, the wind, the curvature of the earth, the bullet drop,
the heat conditions.
Hey, in that movie I told you to watch, Quigley Down Under.
Yeah.
Starring Tom Selleck, where he's a sharpshooter. He does that. He holds up some dust,
gauges the wind.
Yeah, that's how you know he's a fucking scientist. Yeah.
And that's the White Death. That guy in the the all-time champion sniper is Simo Haya,
Yeah, I know about
a
this
Finn
guy.
who died in April with 542 kills to his name.
Oh.
That was in the
Did he keep
Russian
ice
Finnish
in
War.
his mouth?
I mentioned it in a previous podcast.
Yeah, so he kept ice in his mouth so he didn't give away his
Oh.
breath, and like he just stayed out there for time.
Yeah, he was just the thing is, he was just a farmer. The Russians invaded. He just grabbed his rifle, went out and started shooting them.
Didn't he have really good skis or something as
Yeah.
well? And they had he was just spent his whole life in the snow. Was just
he was a farmer in the fucking in Finland. I mean, he's skiing everywhere. But yeah, it's Karl Hancock. That's the guy.
No, he wasn't a psycho though, was he? Because you think of him as he's doing something honourable, defending his fucking.
He's defending his home
from an invading evil,
communist state.
honestly evil cunts. So yeah, we love that guy. But if he was in a city and killed 400 people, he'd be a, super psycho, wouldn't he?
Of course.
Which this guy, Mohammed, if he wasn't a patsy, if he wasn't some sort of Manchurian candidate, then he genuinely has to be a psychopath, doesn't he? If he was doing it for the reasons his wife says, right?
Yeah.
Even if he was doing it for that reason, he's still a psychopath.
Yeah.
Because he's still willing to murder 10 people to get his child.
What made him a psychopath?
Well, the ability to kill people with no emotion.
Being in the army, isn't it?
More of a sociopath.
Well, no, I
isn't it?
think
Not
the
a
army
psychopath.
I think it's...
Well, the army
There
trains
may have
you
been
to kill.
there may have been childhood traumas, but the army definitely
You're born
preyed.
that way sometimes. You
So
literally.
I
Do
think
you
it-
ever see the amazing documentary of the doctor who's specialised in psychopaths, and he believed it was a thing you're born with, a genetic thing.
And he had it, didn't he?
Yeah, he scanned his own brain. He was like, shit.
He didn't get the trigger.
Yeah, and then they interviewed his family and asked a few things. They're like, yeah, he does seem cut off sometimes and just but he hadn't had the thing where you go over the edge,
childhood
like you
trauma,
said,
that
and-
triggers it off.
Or a head injury.
So the point is, you don't feel empathy or emotion.
Yeah.
This guy, to get his own what he wanted. Let's say he did want the child back. Because what else is his motive? I'm not aware of the. Because I only went down the Manchurian Candidate hole.
I think he was three kids, actually.
What are people's theories behind his motive to do this at this time? Was it an anti-war thing?
I think they sort of settled on the
terrorism
sociopath, spree
thing?
killer kind of diagnosis and
Was
gone with it.
this not labelled as terrorism? Because
No.
it was terrorism.
It was terrorism, but it wasn't labelled as it. He's
terrified.
just down as a serial killer, isn't he? The pair of them.
Yeah.
Domestic terrorism.
Yeah,
Domestic
it would have been,
terrorism.
as well, I imagine. Especially after 9/11. Remember, it's not long after 9/11, man. Things went pretty fucked up in America for a bit. Well, it still is, to be fair. They got Trump as fucking president. But yeah,
Can I read you a bit of Carl Hathcock? I mentioned
Yeah.
it briefly earlier. Carl Hathcock is the most famous sniper of late. He's 93 confirmed kills. He was nicknamed Long Tang or White Feather because of his plumage Hathcock wore in his bush hat.
What army is he
30,
What army is he with?
He was the American Marine Corps in Vietnam.
Okay.
$30,000 bounty was put on his head after he carried out an order to assassinate a notoriously brutal female Viet Cong interrogator known as Apache.
Ooh.
That's proper fucking
Truth
film
is so
stuff.
much stranger than fiction,
Yeah.
isn't it? All these stories sound like better movies than the ones we've seen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And they nicked, obviously, he shot the sniper through his skull. He didn't mean to. He says, I didn't mean to. It's just, I saw a glint.
Yeah.
I fired. I saw something happen. All right, okay. We went up. We moved up really slowly. It was like dark when we got there. Found him. Scope's gone.
Yeah,
Straight to the
so-
eye.
Good shot.
Yeah. Lucky. I mean, he admits that, but
Yeah.
it was, so it was that lack of emotion, definitely. I mean, and you've got to have that to be a sniper, haven't you?
Oh.
They might not necessarily be psychopaths, because they could probably justify it to themselves around protecting the nation. But like,
Or your fellow Marines. If you're like,
yeah.
if you shoot the guy who's controlling the artillery,
Yeah,
you're saving all your mates, aren't you?
exactly. It's that. Yeah. It's like you don't. We're not calling snipers psychopaths, but we are suggesting that this guy Mohammed had to have been, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Well, that guy-
sociopath, definitely.
That Marine just said you have to turn off your humanity.
Yeah, but there's a difference between doing it in a war scenario, like Ben said, to save your platoon. You know, you take out that gun turret guy. There's a difference between that and shooting a bloke loading his
Yeah,
shopping
but then
into the
but then there's people perhaps like Mohammed that doesn't change. He continues that.
What's it?
PTSD, yeah. So
Yeah.
we look at the psychological response to the sniper attacks of the ordinary people.
Yes.
Yeah, because that must have been
Because it will
fucking
be
terrifying.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
They did random digit dial telephone survey of 1,205 adults living in Washington D.C. and 2 surrounding counties during the shootings, conducted May 2003. The main outcome measures included self-reports regarding traumatic stress symptoms, perceptions of safety, behavioural responses, and exposures to incidents. 45% of residents reported going to public spaces such as parks and shopping centres less than usual.
Wow.
I don't blame them.
No,
It's a
you're right.
natural human response.
Of course it is. 5.5% reported missing at least one day of work.
Wow.
And women who reported living within 5 miles of any shooting incident were significantly more likely to report elevated traumatic stress symptoms consistent with a probable diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder than women who reported living farther from incidents.
Wow.
Among men, there was no significant association between reported residential proximity and elevated traumatic stress symptoms.
That's
So
because
we
we're
were
too
just as
we're too
stressed
dumb to
wherever we
care.
Or we were
Yeah.
just as stressed wherever we were.
Yeah.
If you're going to be stressed, you're stressed.
But the women were a bit more intelligent, thought, well,
I'm
know,
closer, so
yeah.
I should be more scared.
and the ones that were further away
Whereas we're all just on the same level of
all the men were like, get the fucking guns!
Yeah, if it happens, it happens. Well, I'm going to have this beer now. Well, those of us with a stronger constitution.
Yeah, that's pretty scary, isn't it?
It is. I can't blame these people. I would be absolutely
Yeah, me
fucking
too.
terrified, to
Yeah.
be honest with you.
An estimated 32% of parents reported that children experienced at least one psychological distress symptom related to sniper shootings.
Jesus.
Yeah. Older children, females, children with a history of trauma, exposure prior to sniper attacks, children whose parents reported routine disruption as the result of the attacks, children whose parents perceived them as a great risk for harm from sniper attacks, and those children whose parents reported more traumatic stress symptoms in response to attacks were at greater risk for reported psychological distress. Fucking hell, they don't word it well, do they?
Well,
these
think about it though. You're 4 to 5 years old, right? And at your fucking school, all of a sudden the adults are screaming and very panicked.
Yeah,
and
you're
telling
locked
you've
down.
got to get down. You've got to.
No one near the window.
Yeah, all that stuff. That is going to fucking stay with you, mate. No matter what, for the rest of your life, that's going to stay with you.
Yeah, and I mean, they were petrol stations because a lot of people were shot at while in their
Yeah.
car. Were putting sheets of canvas up to cover the people.
Yeah.
So at least,
fill up
yeah,
with
all right.
Safety.
They could still get shot, but at least they couldn't be sniped on purpose. But then again, think of it, what's sticking up over the top of your car? Your head and your chest, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, easy shot. So, yeah, I don't know. Are we ready to sort of give?
Yeah.
Our I think I basically said what I think, haven't I? There.
You think it's a Manchurian Candidate?
No, I don't. I think it's a possibility. I'm not necessarily down
The
for
phrase
that
is
thing.
weird.
It's just weird that they asked them to give it. Seems like a trigger word and stuff, or maybe it's just gameplay and control. You know, seeing what they could get away with. Who knows? But either way, there's something more going on here. He obviously brainwashed the younger lad, didn't he?
Yeah, I think the lad was definitely certainly under his control. Although, when I came into this, I thought he seemed the more bloodthirsty.
I'm gonna go for. I think it was probably, in all likelihood, he's a psychopath. Then he was maybe trying to get his son back. That's what my gut goes with. But there's something weird about the asking the police to say things, and you can read into the things they left to be found. You know, you can drive yourself crazy without reading into the symbolism of why was it this card and this word he used.
Well, the death card doesn't mean death in tarot. It means rebirth. I'm pretty sure it does. It means a new start.
So yeah, but I
Seems
think
like
I'm
an
going to go
opposite
with
meaning.
he's a complete psychopath who wanted to get back his son. But there is also at the outside chance he was a Manchurian Candidate being manipulated by the CIA or FBI in order for some gain that I can't see right now. But
Just to cause fear, mate. That's what it is. Just to cause fear.
Stir it up and get some control.
You
Sell
know,
some
the
guns.
more fear you sell, people say, "Oh, we need more police. We need more government authority."
So I
They
know it's a
submit
bit of a-
they give away their freedoms for security,
Yeah.
but they're still never any safer.
So yeah, I know it's a little bit of a cop out, but I'm undecided on this one. I'm sort of yeah.
Okay. I think it was a sad case of, young man getting trained in the army, leaving the army, and obviously having like mental problems, PTSD or whatever, split from his wife, lost his kids. It could be a case of wanting to get the kids back. It could just be a case of he just flipped.
Yeah,
got an impression of a young man who's already a bit violent on his side.
And maybe he got a taste for blood in the army. I mean, like that sniper
He was a Gulf War veteran, so...
Yeah, you feel like you're fucking God. This is so intoxicating, exhilarating, this feeling.
Oh, you'd never get that feeling back in civilian life, would you?
Exactly, so
unless you're shooting out the boot of a car.
There you go. Yeah. So I think it could be that, personally.
I'm open to that as well.
I think... Basically, I kind of agree with Mike. I think there's obviously something wasn't quite ticking right upstairs in the case of Mohammed. I think that Marvo was already violent as it was, and troubled youth.
Easily led.
Kind of found almost like a bit of a father figure in him.
Father, yeah, exactly.
Did what he said. I think that they were two people with a not quite a full ticket
between them
meeting up and. He wants that feeling back. He's disillusioned with life. He's lost his wife. He's lost his kids. He's practically living in his fucking car.
I think he just wanted to punish society. Are you open to... Do you think there's any possibility that they were being manipulated and controlled by a higher agency?
I think that the phrasing of that thing, that duck in a noose thing,
yeah,
that's weird.
It is weird. He says, to give you the quote again...
you told me to say this.
The officer says,
Charles Moose.
You have indicated that you want us to do and say certain things. You've asked us to say, we have caught the sniper like a duck in the noose. We understand that hearing us say this is important to you.
Could be. It could just be a code to let them know that they found the
Because that has been known, because I listen to a lot of true crime things. Killers and criminals communicate with the police through coded messages in newspapers.
So that means that they found the tarot card and the shell casing in the last one.
That could be.
I don't know. I didn't go into the.
All I was saying is, I'm just looking for. Are you even like 1% open to that? Could be maybe a possibility because they think Manchurian Candidates killed the Kennedys.
Yeah. Well, it's quite possible, mate. I'm definitely open to it because
the phrase might
these fuckers in charge will do anything to get their own way.
Yeah, they're ruthless. We know they're satanic bastards.
The deep state will do anything to get its way. So
we're nothing to them.
It could have been for a reason that we don't know about, political or whatever. It could have been.
I think we're all...
Especially after 9/11 with the height of the fear, maybe they wanted an example.
We're about to go into Iraq.
Yeah, maybe they wanted an example,
a reason.
And his name's Mohammed. Last name's Mohammed.
Exactly, convenient.
Just to tip it over the edge and get the votes to go into Iraq. Yeah, of course. Well, not like they take votes.
Well, yeah.
They just do it now.
So it's a possibility, isn't it? Definitely. But it could, like we said,
public opinion.
We come back to again, like you said, it could have just been damage from the war, psychotic. What
wants that feeling
again?
again?
I think me and Mike have.
No, I'm with you. I think he's clearly got a screw loose. He met up with the other guy who was a violent youth. He'd been involved in crimes, and they did a pre-shooting spree to this, and he pulled the trigger a lot of the time in that.
Okay.
I think that two lost souls found each other and ended up in horrific circumstances.
It's like in the perfect sort of ingredients for the perfect storm, as they would say. These two people happened to find each other. If they never had this maybe never would have happened, or because they found each other, maybe that made them the perfect target for a higher agency.
Maybe.
We don't know, but
I just had a thought about the phrasing might be a way of communicating with possibly, maybe they thought, that guy thought he was a jihadist. Maybe he thought the phrasing was communicating with other groups who might have been planning something similar. Accomplices, maybe. Maybe a way of communicating with them.
The white van thing could have been an honest mistake. They generally got a good tip.
Yeah, I think
what they thought was a good tip.
Well, the thing is, if you say there's a blue Chevrolet saloon car and there's a white box van, which one would you think is more likely to be someone's shooting at the back of? You can lie comfortably prone in the back of the van, lift the door up a crack, bang,
Look,
door
there was
down.
no Facebook Well, there was, but it wasn't. Social media wasn't such a thing back then. It was 2002, 3, wasn't it? That would have spread word mouth to mouth a bit more, wouldn't it? Like, yeah, they're shooting out of it. Think about it. They're shooting from a vehicle.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, Ben, you hit the nail on the head. Slide that back door up, bang. Slide it back down. That's people. You're not going to imagine, are you? Because we're not MacGyver or the A-Team. You're not going to think, oh, he drilled 2 precise holes in the fucking boot of a car so he could lie down in it and perfectly line up the barrel and the sights and shoot from out of sight. I mean, come on, that's James Bond shit, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not something you think it's not something you think straight away, is it?
No.
So that's
Occam's razor, simplest
idea?
explanation. He's in the back of a van. He can lie down. He's in the back of a van.
And it shows that Occam's razor isn't always right, because sometimes
true.
people do go to twisted lengths to do things, and I think we're sort of done on there.
Yeah, we take a break,
Yeah, definitely, and we'll come back with some Weird Alex.
Weird news and a bit of full Alex.
Woo!
Yay! And we're back. So this is kind of topical this week. We're on to weird news now. The blood moon, which a lot of you will be able to see tonight, I think, as we record, Friday, the 27th of July.
Which they will be hearing this in 2 weeks' time, so
they will. So the world won't have ended.
Or it will have.
We hope.
If you're hearing this, the world didn't end.
Yeah, that's true.
So the blood moon will bring about the end of the world, say doomsday theorists. How would you get the job of being a doomsday theorist exactly?
Well, I guess we kind of are, aren't we?
Yeah, but we're not getting articles in the papers and stuff.
Not yet, Ben. Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping that call from Ancient Aliens, so I'm pinning my hopes on.
Okay.
Even though I do mock the guy with the big hair. Anyway, sorry.
Most people.
I do.
So what
You're a NASA shill, though. You can't do
I'm
it.
not a NASA shit. Oh, just because I don't believe the Earth is flat.
No. Right.
I think that was what I was called, wasn't it, when I left, got kicked out the Flat Earth Society. Oh man. So, the article. Considering the lengthy heat wave the United Kingdom is going through, and believe me, it's fucking hard.
lengthy.
Let's not complain, lads.
Try not to.
You'd be forgiven for thinking the end of days is truly upon us.
I didn't think that. I just thought it was a hot spell.
I wasn't thinking.
I'm not going to meet me neighbour. It's so hot.
I don't look up at the sky and expect to see the pale horse of death riding across it. Let's put it that way.
And his name, it said on him, was death.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, however, doomsday theorists are convinced the end of the world is nigh, as the blood moon, which will light up the sky later this evening, is a sign Judgment Day has truly arrived.
Let me get this. A blood moon is quite rare, but it's not like...
It's not supernatural.
It's not like... Yeah, it's not like the only time it's ever occurred in history, and therefore the world's
Didn't
going to
it
end.
happen fairly recently?
Happened on my birthday a couple of years ago.
A year or two ago.
Literally happened on my birthday about 5 years ago. I was like, I am the child of Satan.
I remember making a video because all the sky was orange, and I said it was Trump's genes turning us all, because my hair was Trumpish at the time. It's grown out of that phase now.
Yeah.
Now I look like a surfer, or a
like a Trumpian surfer.
A Trumpian surfer. A surf with an AK-47, firing at the Muslim beach enjoyers.
With a micro penis.
And tiny. You couldn't hold an AK-47. You've got tiny, tiny hands.
Obviously, the Trump particles shrank my penis. Like, it didn't start. Back to the. What the? Why is my dick getting attacked?
Well, you just said you're Trump-like, and unfortunately, that is one of the characteristics. Apparently,
it was
a
hypothetical.
Trumpian characteristic.
The Trump has.
The Trump.
Holy
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we scroll down a little bit, please? The Doom Merchants believe tonight's blood moon is a precursor to a cataclysmic event which will wipe out life as we know it. It's a road we've been down before, as no year seems complete without someone predicting an end to our blue and green planet. The only surprise is that this one's the first of 2018.
That's it, David Mead's normally right on this shit.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's fucking hubris.
Yeah, these things come and go, but do you think it's to lull us into a false sense? Because
No,
we
just
think
these people
every
are
single
fucking-
one of them's bullshit. One day we're going to go, yeah, right, next day, meteor, wipe out, dead.
No, because remember, it's going to be like, the news will break, it'll be like Deep Impact or Armageddon. We'll all know.
Yeah, and I'll fly to space.
24 hours before the end.
Me
We'll
and
all
Bruce
know.
Willis will go and sort it out, and it'll be fine.
We'd
I'll
know a
shag
lot
his
sooner
daughter.
than that. We'd know a lot sooner than that, depending on how big it was.
Well, that's it. The news has got to filter out, hasn't it? It's.
Oh, you see it in the sky.
Well, yeah, but first of all, it's going to be spotted through telescopes. I mean, if you've got like a year warning,
Would you feel the heat wave?
There's only going to be
in the sky.
There's only going to be so many
The
telescopes in the
atmosphere
world that
being
can see
pushed.
it.
If it was big enough, a giant
No, you'd see it in
meteor bigger
space.
than Earth.
You'd see it in space.
But
first.
imagine if something bigger than Earth came.
You'd see it in space, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
you'd see it fucking
And
hundreds
it'd
of.
block out the sun.
You can see Jupiter. It's fucking with a naked eye, I think, can't you? Or Saturn,
You
certainly.
can see Jupiter, I think. Yeah,
Would
well, you
be
can see other
alright.
planets as well, not
Mars.
stars, but yeah. So this comes from Christian ministers John Hagee and Mark Blitz. First theorised the ongoing tetrad, 4 consecutive lunar eclipses, as a sign which points towards the end of the world, prophesied in 2 sections of the Bible, Acts 2:20 and Revelation 6:12.
Oh, well, there we go. Then there's a proof.
Oh, it's from the Bible.
Yeah, the first one took place in April 2014, reports the Mirror. This was followed by blood moons in October 2014 and April and September of 2015. This evening's lunar eclipse, when the moon passes behind Earth and into its shadow, will go on for a duration of 1 hour and 43 minutes. In the book of Revelations,
It
which
says, the sun will turn into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes.
don't they quote that bit in Ghostbusters?
Yeah, something
Oh
like that.
no, it's this next bit actually.
And
And
I-
I behold, can I do this? I like a good Bible quote. And I behold, when he had opened the 6th seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. That bit's from Ghostbusters.
Could be, I can't
When
remember.
Winston and Ray are chatting in the car, like, you know, I've been so busy recently.
No, they talk
Maybe
about
maybe the dead really are coming back.
Maybe hell really is.
Mm.
Okay.
Minister Irvin Baxter, who has an excellent track record of inaccurately predicting the apocalypse since the mid-80s, is one of the many religious zealots who believes the clues to the world's end lies in these biblical verses. In particular, the aforementioned book of Joel.
Joel, he was alright, Joel.
Well, good for him.
Good for him.
He claims the Bible teaches... Go on, Gaz, do your southern accent on that one?
The Bible teaches that an event is coming just ahead of us now, and that we will be the greatest prophetic fulfillment in the last 2,000 years.
You've got to wonder why they're so keen for it all to end, haven't you?
Yeah.
I want to die.
But they're going to get to heaven, aren't they?
Have you met
Oh,
my
it's true.
wife? I want to die.
They're going to be
I'm
with...
not talking to his wife, you know what his wife
My
looks like.
wife, she's fucking crazy.
Not as crazy as him.
It's so hot out here. I want to die. Trump's the president. I want to die. Sorry.
That's an interesting little segue.
I want to die. Sorry. moving
See, he's moved on from happy wife, happy life to screaming out he wants to die in a southern US accent.
That's how I'm imagining that guy feels.
I think that was coming from the
I have a
core.
happy wife, so a happy life.
I think you were screaming that you want to die. I think it's a subliminal
But-
message.
Speaking of that, we need to hurry this up so I can get home to wife and keep happy and keep the happy life. So yeah.
However, astronomers and experts have dismissed these notions. Instead of offering a more logical explanation, they claim the Rayleigh scattering of sunlight through the Earth's atmosphere is the reason for the red hues we've been seeing as of late. It's also the cause of the red tint during sunsets.
Nice demons.
So there we go. It's demons.
Devil, demons.
Alright, we've nailed that one.
No, I'm with Satan on this one.
Let's move on. Naked ghost hunter gets stuck in gate in bizarre quest to find paranormal activity.
Fantastic.
What an excuse.
Oh my god, he warns him not to rip his testicles on the sharp metal. Oh wow.
Why?
A naked man claiming to be a paranormal investigator has been filmed after being found stuck in a metal gate. The unnamed man was filmed after getting the top half of his body stuck through a white metal gate while apparently out chasing ghosts. The incident was filmed by an onlooker in the city of Rostov-on-Don in southwestern Russia. Rostov-on-Don hosted 5 games of the 2018 FIFA World Cup, blah blah blah. We did that.
Well, we've all been there. We've all been caught naked hunting ghosts.
What an excuse. He's very creative.
Yeah.
I'm a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
Why are you naked? It helps me hunt the ghosts.
Yeah.
The man filming can be heard asking him what happened, to which the naked man replies, "I'm a paranormalist."
Oh, for fuck's sake.
A paranormalist is someone who studies the paranormal, from the occult sciences through to all things psychic or paranoid, and who will also carry out equipment to test theories about the other world. He was quite annoyed apparently no one was helping him. The guy was just filming. Hey, what you doing, mate? Fucking help me!
Yeah, I'm stuck.
Don't rip your balls.
No, slime it to help you, grease it up.
It's not clear on this occasion what the man was looking for while naked, but he was clearly stuck, as can be seen, asking the cameraman to open the gate. The person filming says, "How can I open it? I don't have a key." The totally naked man finally managed to shimmy his way out the fence to freedom.
Well,
good for him. You know he was banging the woman in there and the husband came home early.
Of course it is.
I was not shagging the wife. I hunt the ghost. No, I don't fuck the wife. I hunt the ghost. You have the key? Oh, shit.
You a husband?
Your husband? I don't fuck the wife. No, I hunt the ghost. I am a priest. It helped to be naked.
Maybe he just likes to be naked.
It helped. The ghosts, they like the penis.
It's one of the more weirder excuses, isn't it?
It's very
I
creative.
don't know, but the next time I'm caught naked in a gate, I'm going to tell them that.
Me too.
At least
I'm a
naked
paranormalist. How does that sound in Russian? It's hard to say in English.
Yeah.
It's not the first thing that would come to my head.
I'm a ghost
I'm
hunter.
a ghostbuster.
Yeah, I'm a ghost.
It's okay,
It's alright, I'm a
ghost.
ghostbuster. And then you two pull up in Gaz's van with our Demon Busters sign
We
on
might
it.
just singing the song out the window.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, we can't report stereo.
Because Mike's our new chief vocalist.
Ghostbusters.
Mike's our new chief vocalist after his
Yeah.
excellent rapping skills.
Yeah, that'll be an upcoming feature. You'll hear the vocal stylings of Mike and you. We're going to get you on there.
We're going to get you do the reggae numbers.
Yeah, gotta make him do a reggae song.
Won't be happening.
Yeah. I don't like reggae.
I fucking hate it.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
one more piece of news, or
oh, go on then.
By 2050, humans will attend own funerals as robots.
Wow. So
With
this
my
is just
brain
this is just
downloaded into
altered carbon and Westworld then, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good luck to
Yeah,
my
but on
robot future self.
top of planning your pension and future financial security, now's the time to put money aside for downloading your brain data. I've got the money to plan for my pension and financial future.
I can't afford bread in the last week of the month. Fucking hell.
Dr. Ian Pearson, who has a self-proclaimed 85% accuracy record when looking 10 to 15 years ahead.
That's not impressive.
Yeah, what a cunt. I don't
It's 100% to be impressed.
Why isn't he a billionaire from gambling and betting? I predict this
10 to 15 years.
Why didn't he see that France would win the World Cup then? 15 years
We
ago?
don't talk about the World Cup anymore, guys.
No, it's dead. I saw an England flag at the side of the road today covered in tar and road shit, and I was just like, that sums it all.
Yeah, I bet me England shorts.
The
and
broken
England top.
No, we got to the semi-finals. I've done that for years.
Yeah, we
Nah,
should
we
be
did alright. We did alright.
We didn't really play anyone fantastic.
I know, but it's still the dream.
We beat everybody that we should have beat, I suppose.
Yeah, and in full fairness, that's more than we've done for the last
Well,
couple of
yeah, it's an
tournaments.
improvement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Football came home in a way.
It's better than losing to Iceland. I remember that. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
fucking horrible.
The belief came home.
You know what? I only watched 15 minutes of that game. I came into the canteen at work. It was lunchtime. Iceland had won. It was 1-1, and I watched Iceland score. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go for a fag. I'm not gonna bother watching the rest of this
It
shit.
was depressing.
Well, anyway, we've exercised those demons. Euros in a couple of years. Should we get back to what we were doing?
Yeah. What do you reckon, then, Gaz? Are you
Still
up
coming
for attending your own funeral?
I would be. It'd be fucking awesome.
I do say good luck to my robotic future self.
Well, be
If
yourself.
it's my, well, yeah, but not really, will it? It'd be a new...
An
it'd be a new
indestructible
hybrid.
robot body.
It's a new hybrid version. It's a synthesization of my personality.
Yeah, it's a digital
not
version
my
of
It's
yourself.
a
It's
copy.
a computer guess of my personality, of what I would... It's predicting what I would do next, what I would say in that situation.
Could
It's
well
not
be,
gonna
yeah.
It won't really be me.
Unless there is actually a way to download the brain's contents by 2050.
Well,
Rather than a computer guessing what we're going to do.
if you can
they've
literally
just
transfer me, like, do you remember Commodore Amigas with the disk drives 500?
Yeah.
And you could copy games by, like, you put one disk in, copy, put it in the drive. Literally, that simple. If you could transfer my consciousness that simply into a robotic body, oh, what's my human fucking flesh bag, fucking rotten heap of shit get buried? Of course I will.
You'd be in a fucking robot years before that if that day ever
I'd be
occurred.
in the robot with the robot equivalent of a hard-on, just raging as I watch my coffin go down.
The thing is, you'd have been off. You would. I think.
That's an image, isn't it?
I think, right, that you personally will go off in your robot body, have many adventures, while your flesh bag body does its happy wife, happy life.
No, my
business.
flesh bag body would be empty and dead.
No, because they just copied. They
my flesh body before
they
then.
copied your brain over.
I only want the
He's copied
robo
it.
body after death.
Ah.
Until then, my flesh body is much more superior because it can feel things better. This is what's natural. But when this flesh body fails,
But when you got sensors, acts as
then
nerves,
transfer me when I'm
act as
dead.
nerves, you wouldn't know the difference
But
between
I want to run this body out first. Then I'll
It's
try
2050,
robot
guys, so you're right, you got a bit of
one.
time.
I know you're all trying to always convince me robots are going to be better, but I'll still run
No,
this
I
body
agree
out.
with you. We've got 32 years left yet.
There you go. I'm going to live longer than that.
Well, at least you don't have to, as soon as it comes on the market, kill yourself and move in. Well, it's a
Without
nice...
copying your brain.
It's a
It won't
nice...
take much disk space.
It's a nice backup to have, though, isn't it?
Yeah, look, okay, you robot baited me. Robots are better than us. Thanks.
You know what? I listened to the Google Assistant the other night.
Oh,
Again.
you fuck.
And it scared the shit out of me again.
It's not, it's just a program. It's not artificial intelligence. It's statistical, mathematical fucking predictions. It's not a replication of the human mind. It's not having conversations. It's fucking maths.
I agree with you. Yet.
But
Yes,
yeah,
so
that's
don't
the
worry
key
about
word.
it.
And when we're fighting the machines, as I said on the podcast, all of a sudden, oh, Mike's voice comes over the radio, open the gate, but it's not Mike. He's been brutally butchered along with his troop. And all of a sudden we got a swarm of murderous killer Terminators coming
you
in.
have to do
That's
that.
when it fucking goes wrong.
You have to just.
And
do that.
I'll turn to you guys and go, you remember when I told you that Google Assistant was going to be a fucking nightmare?
I wouldn't be there. I'd be too busy shagging a robot.
Alright, guys,
Yeah, let's
if there's in a
finish up.
rush, we won't robot bait you in a
And I'm
rush.
also fairly fucking
Is-
drunk.
yeah.
I apologise.
That's a
listeners.
weekly thing now, though.
It was my week to be drunk this week.
Alright,
Yes.
then.
What-
So,
so, someone
my-
explain the game show.
Well, this is full. Never go full Alex, the most popular game show in this flat.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
And basically, Mike finds us a clip of a random weirdo that he's found on the net. Although this guy is making a repeat appearance.
well, there's a few favourites. I like
There's a
to
few
keep-
favourites, I can understand that.
didn't
They
back
do
it.
say a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And then we play you a clip of Alex Jones going, what we like to call, full Alex.
Yeah.
And then we guess who's gone more full Alex that week.
Yeah.
So let's start with the right wing. Is that right wing watch news?
Yeah.
Jesse Lee Peterson denies racism ever existed, and he says that picking cotton makes a man. I want to point out to the listener, if you've never heard of Jesse Lee Peterson, he is an African American.
Yep.
And he's denying
Racism ever existed.
racism ever existed. So Martin Luther King is obviously worthless in his view.
Yep.
And picking cotton makes you a man.
Yeah.
I'm quite confident that Jesse Lee Peterson has never picked a single piece of cotton in his
Well,
fucking life.
Well, he says he has, so let's...
Well, I'm willing to bet he
let's
hasn't.
have a listen to what he
Willing to
says.
bet he's lying.
You ready for this? It's a doozy.
I'm ready.
It's 2018 in America. Does racism exist?
Absolutely not. And it has never existed.
Whoa!
It has never. It's
Wait, whoa!
It's a made-up word.
What about the picture in the 60s with the German shepherds on the black guy, the civil rights movement, and the cops, and the guy like that?
Well, that's because you were having protests. Whenever you could have a protest today, and if people go out of control, you're gonna see the same thing. It was just a protest, and you're hearing this from a man. I grew up in Alabama. I grew up under the Jim Crow laws. I went to an all-black school. There were signs that says for colors only, for whites only.
That sounds pretty racist.
Yeah. But it wasn't racist. It was a law that was brought about by the Democrats. And they brought that law into effect, and it separated people by law. But yet, most blacks and whites got along. They knew that all white people were not against black people. It was a law, and people just obeyed the law at the time. And when I was growing up, I had to pick cotton. The guys were taking out...
You were born on a plantation.
Have you ever picked cotton?
No, sir.
You have not lived until you pick cotton.
You're being too controversial for me. You're going to get my show taken off the air. It's fun to pick cotton.
It's fun. It makes a man out of you.
Really?
You know, I said once on my radio show that because most blacks are so lazy now, because of the government taking care of them, and then a lot of them are born with single mothers only in the homes, and the mothers don't make them work. And I said, I'm going to go to Alabama, buy some land, create a plantation, and I'm going to take the blacks back down there to show them how to work and be independent and earn their way. And all hell broke loose when I said it. Oh, he's for slavery. He's for that. But I knew what I meant by that.
Oh, God. I mean, he's talking to a white guy, and the white guy at one point, he's so embarrassed by what he's saying.
Exactly.
He's like...
I mean, the white guy's like, you're too controversial for my... I don't know who that guy is. I seem to recognise his face.
I've seen him. I think he's been on Joe
Gavin
Rogan.
McInnes,
he's been on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he's been on InfoWars, isn't he? He's
an alt-right-ish guy.
And he's saying, he's an alt-right guy, and he's saying you're too... I mean, that's just... It's incredible.
Well, he's obviously mentally ill, isn't he? And
I think
so desperate for attention.
He's a reverend, Gaz. He doesn't matter what he says. That collection plate goes around every Sunday in his fucking mega church. Earns him a few more grand. I mean,
the best bit was when he says, "Well, that sounds pretty racist," and he goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Oh, but it wasn't racist.
Yeah, he did. He went, oh yeah. I think the Democrats put that law in place. And everyone was just obeying the law. But black and white people got on. What? KKK didn't seem to get on so well.
How about them white people that hung them black people from trees? Did they get on?
Apparently.
What's he got to say?
Wasn't racism, guys. Racism has never existed in the United States.
Never existed.
Oh.
And the tragedy of it is that's a black guy saying that.
Well, the white guy couldn't say that, could he?
No, but
fuck
he's like just denying his own history.
Yeah.
Alex is going to have to say some pretty Alex shit to win this one this week, because that guy, what he just said was bananas.
I saw
Insanity.
the Alex clip, and it does promise highly.
Okay.
When I saw the title, Alex goes berserk, yells at Satan.
So let's hear what Mr. Jones is saying.
God gives us free will. The enemy, the devil, the deceiver, the accuser. Get behind me, Satan. What does Satan do? Gets in front of you on our road to the stars. Satan gets in front of human development. Satan only gives us mutated technologies and mutated systems that control us and dumb us down in an attempt to play God and build an artificial system to predict the future. The devil doesn't have omnipresence. The devil is trying to use humans made in the image of God to build a God machine to be able to understand the future and decipher everything. The devil only knows how to con people and manipulate people because he is a magician. He is a deceiver. He is a fraud. He is a lie. He is not 1 trillionth what the Creator is. To hell with the devil. Straight to the pit with Satan. Down with Satan in the name of Jesus Christ. Get behind me, Satan. Down with the devil. Down with the fraud. Get out of the road. Get behind me. You understand that? Get out of the road, New World Order. Get out of my mind. Get out of my free will. Get out of my way. Humanity is going interstellar.
Space Force!
Space Force!
Space Force! Space Force!
A God machine! I am trying to build a God machine.
Apparently we're going interstellar.
I'm done now.
See, alright, I'm gonna cast my vote.
This is what I love about Alex. You think no one could get any more batshit crazy?
It'd be weirder than saying racism doesn't exist. But now I'm torn, I don't know.
And then Alex comes up with that doozy.
I want to cast my vote. I want to say Jesse Lee Peterson has gone full Alex this week. Because
they're crossing the streams.
Because they're crossing the streams. Because Alex there, he needs a 5-minute filler. He needs a 3-minute filler. So he knows what's popular amongst my listeners. Get behind. Satan's popular. I'm going to rant about Satan for 3 minutes, throw in some random shit, and just go for it.
Oh, it was beautiful, mate. It was poetry.
It was fantastic. He's a great performer. Bill Hicks is a great performer.
He's incredible.
But the other guy, but remember the rules of the show. Who says the more batshit crazy stuff?
Well,
Jesse Lee Peterson is effectively denying 200 years of American history.
He's got it.
And his own racist history. He's an African American. He's denying slavery exists, and the picking cotton makes you a man.
Alex is writing sci-fi.
Alex is Who?
That guy's. Like you said, doing an actual crime. Yeah,
he's doing
Holocaust denial, that sort of thing.
I bet he's a Holocaust denier. I would put money on that. Have you ever found a clip of that, Mike?
Troubles in America, which we all know is historical fact.
He's saying Martin Luther King never existed.
He's got it.
Oh yeah. Oh, what about the people getting attacked by dogs? Oh, it's a protest.
Because to be honest, if there is a god machine that's going to predict the future, I for one would like to hear what it's going to say.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, fuck the first guy, he wins, he's more mental. What are you saying, Mike?
Yeah, man. I'll go with that.
There we go then, I think that wraps it up for this week. That's a good one.
So I'm going to say thanks for listening. Don't drink the Flavour Aid and don't join a cult. I've been Ben.
I'll say I've been Gaz, good night, and free Biff Tannen.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
Hey!
Jedi.